All right, so yeah, we're gonna go through Mooncakes versus Hubbard again. So I do want to do a recap of earlier. Okay, so I defined the term debate and the elements to debating, and I'm marking. So whoever gets the most marks loses. Marking how many things that either individual do wrong, debate-wise. So Zach's got 20 marks against him. I believe barely a half an hour in. So we'll continue.
Nothing, AI might take your job.
Fortunately.
This could your truth, if I'm being honest. It once again is comparable to astrology. It's fun. It's fun to type in numbers. But Zach, if I give you two names right now and we typed into gematria calculator, we could probably find a connection. We genuinely.
All right, let's actually do that. Let's look at this list from 2020 real quick. Okay, these were the things that defined 2020. The 56 list. Coronavirus, Black Lives Matter. Don't forget they hated Black Lives Matter on Church Street, which is 16th Street, like the Jesuits have existed since the 16th century, on the 5th of June, which is also
what does that even mean? On 16th Street. So they're dude, that is what that is the definition of cherry picking right there. Because it's on 16th of whatever is on 16th Street. It has something to do with the 100 years of a century that the Jesuits were founded. Dude, give me a break. That is a cherry picking. That means nothing. I mean, talk about cherry picking. To get your 16, like, come on.
Anniversary of Ronald Reagan's death, whose name equals 56.
What?
But you just see all those 56 things. Society of Jesus, Washington, D.C., Anthony Fauci, Corona Del Mar, that's where they buried Kobe, supposedly, in an unmarked
What's up,
grave.
Cuts?
Coronavirus. Toilet paper. You know why toilet paper's up there, right?
I don't know why toilet paper's up there.
You don't remember the big, the first big consequence of the coronavirus before anyone had it?
Buying up all this toilet paper, like they're just like buying.
Wasn't that the whole thing? Everyone watching social media, people fighting over toilet paper because supposedly coronavirus is going to make it sell out.
Yeah, people are fighting over it.
See, well, we were just sitting here going like, look at this, another 56 ritual. It doesn't even make sense. Why would coronavirus cause toilet paper to sell out?
Why don't we do it live? Why don't we put a few words?
No, we're going to do that. But I just want to show people what a concrete.
Unfortunately, this was not a good move by Mooncakes.
But no, at the time, were you questioning why toilet paper would be in scarcity because of coronavirus?
Well, I actually did something the other day in gematria. I took their name, I took my real name. Right, we had the same number. We had 88.
So
right?
I do have to. I do have to ding Mooncakes because Zach did technically ask her a question and she diverted. Mainly, I think this because she was trying to stay more on topic, but you know that's only 2 dings against her versus Zach's 20. So Zach's already got 10 times the amount of dings, and we're only a fourth into the debate. A quarter, I should say.
I'll put Zach in the simple gematria. Do you think that meant anything?
My name is Zach, I'm equal 88.
Zach is equal 88? I can double check. I forget the number, but I remember it matched my real name. Of course, I won't say my real name. But I'm saying, with that information, if you believe that what I'm saying is true, do you think there's any real connection? It's just coincidence.
You didn't spell my name correctly because I know my name is Nicolette, but it's okay. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? the 4 base ciphers up? You want to do it with just the one cipher that you've done 90% of the work out of over the years, or how?
Just using a simple gematria.
Just the most simple cipher. Okay. So I'm gonna clear it out.
Yeah, this one. I mean, I'm just gonna mark it now. Mooncakes. That was not to do the simple one because because they're using more ciphers. It actually makes it a lot easier to get the number to match. But the reduction ciphers would probably been better to debunk with this method because a third of the alphabet has the same value. So it was A through I, and then after I, 9 more. So 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 8. Would have been a lot better to do that one. But, I mean, I get where she's trying to go. Yeah, this wasn't, to me, a good method to debunk gematria.
And we'll plug in whatever words you want to plug in here. Actually, here, let me zero this out down here. Start over. All right, so just the ABC 1, 2, 3, right? That's what you want to do?
Yeah, we can do stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, sorry, yes, exactly. When I spell your name and I spell my full name, it equals 82. And I'm sorry, I just want to know if there's any connection.
So that was a good question. I'll give that to her. That was a good question. And it stumped him. But don't worry, he'll figure out a way to ease his way through the question.
They brought us together to do this debate today.
But what was 82 have to do with bringing you two together to do this debate? Come on, that's a deflection. So it didn't really directly answer the question. So that's 21 dings against Zach.
Do you see what I'm saying? So you don't believe that's a coincidence?
But coincidences do exist.
I wouldn't even consider that a coincidence. It doesn't mean anything. So her name and Zach's name equal 82. And that is the point Mooncakes is trying to get at. But with how Zach does his gematria, he adds the onomancy part, which he leaves out that definition. And the 82 connection for however he does his quackology would have to be the 82nd day of their birthday or some shit.
When the media keeps putting 56 in front of your face, and every night you're watching the statistics, it's 56% this and 56%. It's like, is anyone picking up on what they're doing here with coronavirus? Lester Holt's going, tonight, flu cases down 56%, coronavirus cases up 56%. It's like, Jesus, people, why do you look up what coronavirus is coined as? It's coined as seasonal flu. Anyway.
All right, so we're just gonna double check. I'm pretty sure he is right, but we're gonna double check. Is coronavirus coined as the seasonal? No, COVID-19 has never been officially coined class season or distinct respiratory illnesses. Yeah, I mean, I know there's other types of sorry, so we'll just do Wikipedia. Coronaviruses are a group of related RNA viruses that cause disease in mammals and birds. Humans and birds, they cause respiratory tract infection that can range from mild to lethal. Mild illnesses include some cases of common cold, which is caused by other viruses, predominantly rhinovirus. While more lethal varieties are SARS, MERS, and COVID. In cows and pigs, they cause diarrhea. Mice, they cause hepatitis. It's pretty crazy. Coronavirus constitutes the subfamily Orthocoronavirinae. Why is this not decoded? Orthocoronavirinae in the family of Coronavirinae. Viridae or Nidovirales and round in Riboviria. They are enveloped viruses with positive sense single-stranded RNA genome and nucleoid capsid of helical symmetry. The genome size of the coronavirus ranges from 26 to 32 kilobases. What about those? So Zach would be like 26 characters in alphabet, 32. Sure, he'll come up with 32 something. One of the largest among the RNA viruses, they have characteristic club-shaped spikes that project from their surface, which in electron micrographs create reminiscent of the stellar corona. Virology. I mean, it's not actually saying it's the seasonal cold or flu. It's an RNA virus. I mean, I'm not going to read all this. Okay, but the virologies. Etymology. Coronavirus derived from Latin corona, being crowd or wreath. Isn't it funny because doesn't Zach's mom do a wreath business? Itself a borrowing from Greek. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Garland wreath. The name was coined by June Almeida and David Tyrrell. Why is Zach not mentioning these people? First observed in studying human coronavirus. The word was. I'm sorry for all the yawning. The word was first used in print in 1968 by an informal group of virologists in Internal Nature to designate the new family of viruses. The name refers to the characteristic appearance of the virions, the infective form of the virus, by electron microscope, which have a fringe of large bulbous surface projections, creating an image reminiscent of the solar corona or halo. This morphology is created by the viral spike peplomers, which are proteins. Scientific name, except genus name by the international name for nomenclature of viruses later in the International Committee of Taxonomy of Viruses in Section 1. As a number of general new species increased, the genus was split for gamma coronavirus in 2009. The common name of coronavirus is referred to the subfamily Orthocoronaviridae as a 2020 group by species or artificial recognized. It's not coronaviruses may have emerged around 21,000 to 25,000 years ago in East Asia. Researchers found that 42 coronavirus-specific virus interacting proteins, COV BIPs, in East Asia populations were most likely selected for during this ancient outbreak. It's not the seasonal cold or flu. So that's wrong. So that's another false statement. Zach. So now he's got 22 days. I mean, I'll look one more time. Just take it back. But when he's saying that, he's also saying that COVID is season flu. Influenza and COVID-19 are both contagious respiratory illnesses, but they are caused by different viruses. COVID is caused by infection with a coronavirus, first identified in 2019. Is caused by infection with influenza. So no, it's not cold or the flu. Well, all right, I looked at if it's the seasonal cold or flu. Nope. According to Mayo Clinic, WebMD, health.hawaii.gov. Actually, yeah, let's look at Hawaii State Department. See what they say. There are a number of viruses that can potentially cause the common cold, including rhinovirus, enterovirus, coronaviruses, and even pneumovirus. Cold usually begins with a sore throat and rhinos that develops into coughing season for 7 to 10 days, although people with weak immune systems or respiratory conditions, including asthma, can develop severe disease like pneumonia. Best way to protect according to everything, COVID is not part of the seasonal cold viruses because of like the genetic makeup of the virus. So technically, he's wrong. There might be some coronaviruses that might be considered cold and flu, but they're specifically talking about SARS. SARS is not considered a seasonal cold or flu virus. Which makes sense.
It's 56% this and 56%. It's like, is anyone picking up on what they're doing here with coronavirus? Lester Holt's going, tonight, flu cases down 56%, coronavirus cases up 56%. Like, Jesus, people, why do you look up what coronavirus is going to as? It's going to seasonal flu.
No, it wasn't. So we just checked that. It's not coined as that. Some sources say there are some coronaviruses that are considered seasonal, but the one that they're specifically talking about, SARS-CoV-2, is not considered a seasonal cold.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Plug it in here.
Let's pick a word. I don't know. Donald Duck.
Okay, Donald Duck.
Okay. So, if you twist speak,
You got the Donald Duck right in front of you. Mooncakes.
You know what all this means. So, I assume we just take 89.
Can artists often claim to possess a hidden key to the world that only they can provide? A primary trait of the commoners is siphoning of wealth followers and deceptive promises. Yes, that is completely true, Keenan. Thank you. Yes, that is exactly what this fraudster is, and that's why I'm going over this debate point by point.
Okay.
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 Do I think of another word?
Well, I thought let's just generate a list that's as concise as what we had that all the big stories of 2020, how they were really defined by that number over and over.
Okay, let's take Jesus.
Okay, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have 89 and 4. Are we gonna do 4 names?
Whatever you want to plug in here. It's for art.
I'm not a big fan of this argument, but I get why she did it.
Mother Teresa.
All right, Mother Teresa. Do I got the right spelling up there on Mother Teresa?
I think so.
I don't think it has an H in
I
it.
can confirm if that's how it's actually spelled. It looks like it's actually spelled like this. All right.
Okay. Now let's actually do the word. Let's do the word mother.
All right, we're just gonna skip. She's gonna keep going.
That we want to make. That's the point to get to. You keep going down the list of words. Of course, it's not going to get.
Okay, so she was able to get a human vaccine and moon, all the equal 57.
Here's the reality, right? This book was written and put out in the middle of 2020.
Harry is promoting his shitty book that has no citations. I want you guys to understand, especially the gematria, because I know a couple of them are going to listen. If you're going to be a legit person and you're going to, and you want your message to get across, you cannot write a book that literally has 0 citations. Proper MLA or APA format. That's professional. You're not gonna. It's unprofessional, and you're not gonna have a reference page, an index, a glossary, nothing like that in your book with like all this information. No citation. So if you're not gonna have that, your book is pretty much done. It's nothing. It's just a bunch of paper. It's just something to burn.
Tiger came around, and it wasn't just some arbitrary guess. It's because Tiger has the same 201 gematria as the simulation of N201, and all
in another arbitrary cipher that you have to branch off from here, which he doesn't mention. So he fails to mention that the 201 is what they consider the Latin cipher.
the celebrities coming out when Cooties 19 happened were all wearing Tiger gear. They had Tiger emblems, Tiger print. They made a big deal about Tiger Woods having to eat his Masters dinner alone. Not to mention,
So what? Tiger Woods is, or was, or might be the most paid athlete. I don't know. They're technically athletes, golfers. The most paid athlete ever. So yeah, and what about the 12 years ago and the last year of the Tiger? I'm sure they were talking about Tiger Woods a lot then. And 12 years before that, Tiger Woods has been doing it for over 20 years. So every 12 years, the Chinese zodiac sign changes. But you're transitioning from the Chinese zodiac to Western zodiac to Jesuits to Masons to like, but you're claiming it's all Jesuits or they're the main culprit. But you're hopscotching all over different cultures. It's ridiculous.
he had been 6 of the last 7 Masters before the tournament began. That streak started with calling Tiger Woods. By the way, when Tiger Woods won the Masters last time, it was 11 years after winning his last major and 22 years after winning his first Masters. Those are the Master numbers, 11 and 22. And every year the Masters comes back to the number 11. And since you're asking me about 89 since that came up, this past year was the 89th Masters, and Rory McIlroy was 35, and he won the career Grand Slam by winning this year's Masters at age 35, something that we thought was not delicious for a nice payout. And you know what? He had a bad first day, so his odds went way up to come back, which he did. And again, that is the...
Yeah. You see where he does it? It's power. Lockalicious. That's how he ropes people in.
Power of this knowledge, and it is why people who've been around know that this stuff's undeniable. It's going on year after year. For the record, Scotty Scheffler equals 88. He won the 88th Masters the year before. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, exactly. What I'm just trying to is that what I did, and I'm going to do it one more time. I want you to take the water.
Water, okay? There are interesting things about water.
Water 67. Sorry, I did the last one. It's supposed to be 57. I can think of another word. I'm just doing it quickly in my mind, so I'm probably.
You know what? I'm impressed though that you're trying to add these things up in your mind. That's. Go ahead.
That's cool.
No, what I'm basically trying to do is that I am the manufacturer of my own power. So I can manufacture what it is I want to see. That's basically the point I'm trying to get. And that's why I chose the word human over 7, so that I can prove to you that, like, if I'm looking for something, eventually I will find it based on the infinite amount of possibilities. I can't.
Have you ever asked?
I mean, she did good trying to reel him into this. I don't think this is a good argument against Zach because he can tiptoe around this actually pretty easily. That's just one. So far, the one criticism I do have of Cakes with this debate so far was she did okay with this. If she did her own before they did this, she did like her own words and patterns and had it written down somewhere and just started from the top and then maybe get a couple random ones in just in case and just lead Zach into a corner. She does lead him into another corner a lot better later in this debate.
The world's first titanium non-stick pan. Blow your hair back. Unlike
That'll be
Yale,
probably in part 3.
Fees?
Oh, yeah. 10, 15, 20 seconds at a time. I haven't been able to troubleshoot.
Okay,
It's because your rat internet.
Sorry, it's like kind of.
Your gematria internet sucks.
StreamYard for the last month has been doing this to me.
It's never done to me. I don't have freaking rat internet.
15 seconds when that happens. It's not you, it's my StreamYard.
Okay, no problem.
But I would tell you, you don't know how I got into this, correct?
No, I'm not.
Would you like to know how?
Sure.
So, the last year that I was teaching.
All right, so 1 hour and 10 minutes. So I marked the time where each one starts to make a point, and if they're gonna go over 3 minutes, if it's like almost the fourth minute, I'm gonna ding them. They keep talking. If it's close to 3 minutes, Zach's gone barely a little bit over 3 minutes a few times, and he went over 3 minutes one time. I believe it was about 4 minutes, and so I had to ding him once already on that. I write down every time Mooncakes did more than just like a couple words, like literally making a point. Zach's made 1, 2, as far as 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he's done 11. Mooncakes has started 8 point 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So Zach's been talking. Is what I'm getting at. So he's, and I'm not keeping track of every single time either. Can't convince one Mooncakes to fake gematria in 4 hours. Look at all those 4s. That's like a 44. And there's 4 people watching, and I have a 44 in my name. All the 4s. Connect 4.
So,
Yeah, I mean, well, we're gonna find out because right now Zach's got 22 dings, and there's a few that I probably could have. I probably could have given him, but whatever. Yeah, he's got quite a few dings. He's got 22 dings, and he's only got
as the 2011-2012 school year, which is the year that
I don't care about it.
parents so much, and the supposed shooter's weight, and not to mention, I remember the ladies in the office kept. It was this very Indian couple important in numerology. It was the master number. Around the boobies all the time, and I thought, again, pay attention to Hollywood. They put 47s in the background all the time. It's ridiculous.
So he's almost at 3 minutes talking.
See it, but I didn't know what it was all about, and I started looking on the internet for like, is there something greater than numbers than I know? And again, I came from the excerpt from Manly B. Hall's The Secret Teaching of All Ages, where
Even though I dinged him, he mentioned this again. Manly P. Hall never said that gematria is in English. And he says the one cipher, the reduction one, doesn't even call it a cipher. He calls it Pythagorean divination, and it's speculative and absurd. Literally says it in the paragraph. He's going to get dinged for that guy because he brought it up on a different talking point.
talks about this practice of coding numbers into words. And the first thing I tried out was the most simple cipher, and in a matter of minutes, I found out that there's equal one solve. And I said, wait a minute. They keep reporting that the shooter weighs 112 pounds, and I knew from from following the story that day, from being in the school and watching, the office ladies talk about it, I said, yeah, how do you go from 3 guys running into the woods anyway to one little skinny kid?
He's at 3 minutes right now.
6 feet. And then when I found this, I just started to look through other events in history, and I just started to see a little more reading. This whole practice of putting numbers in words that come
in find simplest numbers.
So he started talking at 1 hour and 10 minutes, 28 seconds, and Mooncakes finally started at 1 hour, 13 minutes, 57 seconds. So, that's almost 30, that's 30 seconds. So, that couldn't get a point across within 3 minutes. Ding.
I'm okay with that fact. I think gematria is, I would use the word still tends to bastardize or misuse in today's manner, because initially it was used to just be simple. It wasn't used to verify facts of this world or make predictions per se. It was used as a way, like teaching, kind of like a way for their culture. And I think now it's transformed into something that doesn't truly exist. And I guess my one question would be okay.
Check out these thermal winter gloves. This winter, keep your hands warm with these windproofs. Just look at the group.
What if there is a number would prove any of your theory? Is there anything, a word, a number that could prove gematria?
Well, prove it wrong is if just all of a sudden, day after day, that I could show that any of the news was being orchestrated by the numbers, but day after day it is.
The problem with that, well, let me just say this. Here's the problem with that. If something can't be wrong, right? It can't be right. You have that basic understanding. If it can't be wrong, it can't be right.
There's not a cipher that can be used to do gematria. That's right. I don't know why she just didn't go with the definition, but maybe because you've done it, because she wanted to try it her own way. So what she's saying right here is that for you to test your experiment, you need to have a control. I've said this a million times. It would be better if she used what I'm about to say right now, independent and dependent variable. You need to have something to challenge your experiment and to prove your experiment wrong. Now, anybody that challenges Zach's experiment, they'll get muted, banned, called a troll, cancelated. So this is a good point. So let's see if Zach tiptoes around this point. If he does, I'll have to name it.
The airport's not verified. There's no way.
Here's another better. Again, there's a reason there's a lot of people follow me for sports work, because we win day after day after day, year after.
The only person that wins, when he says that, he says win day after day. It's because he's the only one that's winning. Well, I know why, because you're the only one that's giving him the money. So yeah, he deflected again. I wish I actually separated how I didn't think he was going to get this many dings. There's at least 8 deflections out of this 25. I mean, he just deflects every fucking point. He has not answered one of her questions yet. None of them. This is a defensive debate. This is not a debate where two people have two opposing arguments. It's one argument.
Year after year across all these sports platforms. So if I'm not able to do that anymore, all I do is lose day after day after day.
You do lose day after day after day. I mean, you lose more than anybody probably on
anymore, which hasn't been the case now for over a decade. I guess you could say that this is no longer relevant.
He brings up points that he is not proven. If you're going to bring up a point, you need to prove it. Show your win and loss record. If you can't do that, you didn't bring up any point. You're just saying shit. Another day.
But that's not the case.
Just because you say it's not the case does not mean it's not the case. Show the proof. Show it. You need to show it. You can't just say, we win every day. What does that mean? Let me see it. This is a debate. This isn't Zachary Hubbard can just say where the fuck he wants. It's a fact. Show it. That's literally in the confines of debating. If you're going to bring a point, you have to show your results. You can't just say, that's not how a debate works. And this is why he debates somebody like Mooncakes or somebody who has no idea about any of this gematria shit. Because he knows Mooncakes is going to be very nice and not aggressive. Unlike Cuts and I. Cuts and I are going to slice open the quack's freaking his gooseneck. And all the lies are going to pour right out of his throat. I mean, that's exactly what happened. I only got to be on here for 15 seconds. And I asked him personally, what page number does he call claim gematria is English? He's like, whoa, got dick in my mouth. And then fucking hung up on him.
Can I make a point here? I just want to bring to a recent event, right? So I'm telling people that every year before Christmas comes around, pay attention to the way people from the world of celebrity die. And this girl, Nikki Lee, did you see her death for Big Brother? No. She died on Christmas Day at 35. And 35 is a very important number to Christmas. It's 1225 is Friday in the U.S. 1225 has a square root of 35. And 35 connects to Jesus, the Roman name of Jesus, the word Catholic, like person.
But we don't use Azu. We don't use that. We don't use that. Right? And then he'll go to Catholic. And then all of a sudden, then into the Protestant Bible. Sorry, I'm getting soda. Olipop is probably the best low carb prebiotic soda. What is this? Is that Via? Yeah, it's okay. Olipop, that one tastes just like Coca-Cola. I like that one.
Catholic president was number 35, JFK killed on I-35. Of course, the only reason we're really even celebrating Christmas is because of the Catholic Church. The same people against the calendar. But here's the bigger piece. She was in a Big Brother.
I mean, we proved on the last stream that no. The Catholics did not give the calendar or the language. It was approved by the Pope, which, I mean, at the time, everything had to be approved by the Pope. The Pope was like the king of Europe. I mean, the emperor of Europe. Holy Roman Empire. Zach, why don't you bet your own picks? Because sweet lady's going to get the strap on and freaking rail him in nowhere.
Their season that lasted 83 days where the theme was murder mystery. Now, it's not behind me right now, but for years it has been. I have this frame, the Sandra Bullock Murder by Numbers movie poster. I can pull it out of my closet right now. It's right over here. But
here's another one that you about to get debunked on. When you're claiming, here, is the movie Murder by Numbers about murder secret number code? Okay. Movie Murder by Numbers is about calculated murder, but it's more about two brilliant high school students committing a perfect crime and engaging in a psychological game of detectives rather than a secret number code. The numbers in the title refers to the intellectual, almost mathematical precision of their plan killing in the game they play with the police. Inspired by Leopold and Loeb case. The murder of two gifted by troubled students, Richard Haywood and Justin Pendleton, meticulously planned and execute the murder of a young woman, setting up an innocent person as the fall guy. Sandra Bullock stars in this. The numbers connection. The title reflects the killer's intellectual approach, seeing murder as a puzzle or game of wits where they try to outsmart the law with forensic knowledge, not a literal code. And it's inspired by a film loosely based on the infamous 1924 case of Nathan Leopold and Richard Loeb, two wealthy students who committed a similar perfect murder. Murder note of Collider. So it has nothing to do with numbers at all. The whole movie has nothing to do with numbers.
You can see that in the movie poster, they have the E as a 3 and the B as a 8. 3883. And in Gematria, murder equals 3883. And again, the song Murder by Numbers by the Police came out in 83. And it's about how killing is as simple as A, B, C is 1, 2, 3. Or stamp your faces. You pick up feeling like horrible sugar cravings or stinkies right now. You can see the star of Murder by Numbers is Sandra Bullock, baby equals 83. The movie came out on a day that's very special to the Jesuits, April 19th. It's the anniversary of their leader, becoming the first superior general. The film came out 38 weeks and a day after her birthday.
He's already at 2 minutes talking.
Every year people are dead on Christmas and New Year's in the world of celebrity. Every year, Christmas is 38, just like New Year's. But look at the way she died.
I've already done this, but there's a million, almost a million people who are politicians or used to be politicians, actors and actresses, or used to be actors and actresses, and former athletes to former athletes. You have 365 days a year, and you have 1 million people plus who are all in those categories on Earth. Probably almost that here. The odds of a former actor, actress, or whatever dying every fucking day of the year is very high. It's over 100%. Because if you have over 1 million people who are and have been famous or whatever type of role that are alive right now daily, you have over 1 million. You only have 365 days a year. The odds of someone dying that has been famous or is famous, some way, shape, or form, whether it be government, athletics, or entertainment, the chances are extremely high, if not pretty much guaranteed at 100%. Well, gematria itself ancient. Jesuits used various ciphers, specific by the gematria system created by Jesuits in history. However, Father Kircher, a Jesuit polymathematician, developed complex cryptographic systems and working technology, while a key Jesuit cipher found in Peru was a polyalphabetic substitution, not a traditional gematria, showing their practical cryptographic skills, but likely not a gematria cipher named after a Jesuit.
The season ended September 28th, right? She dies 88 days after the show ends. Mickey Lee is 88. And it's not arbitrary. The Zodiac has 88.
He's almost at 3 minutes talking again.
That's the reason we call it our sun. And think about that. We refer to people as stars. A lot of stars die year after year right around Christmas. But notice, you asked, how do we use the ciphers? Mickey Lee also equals 43, just like Jesus Christ. She's dead on Jesus Christ's birthday. In the Greek system of letters and numbers, Jesus Christ equals 8.
Right here, he's going to debunk himself. I mean, you're gonna get dinged just for debunking yourself, dumb idiot. Yeah, the Greek system, isopsephy. The Hebrew system, gematria. The English system, cryptography. Not gematria. I mean, it's really that easy. Gematria is part of the language of Hebrew. It's really that easy. It's that simple. All you gotta do is say, I'm doing English cryptography. And you'd be right. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. Gematria is associated with the language, just as a sausage. It's about to debunk himself right here.
8, 8. That's Greek isopsephy. It's the same thing as gematria. Mickey Lee also 155.
It's not the same thing as gematria. They're actually a little bit different from each other. The Greek system is a little bit different. When you're saying it's the same, you're saying the languages are the same. They're not the same. Gematria is part of the Hebrew language. It's part of it. The letter in Hebrew is that number associated to the Hebrew letter. Aleph, 1, Bet, 2, Gimel, 3, so on and so. Those numbers are part of their language. We don't have assigned numbers to our language at all. They're not assigned 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 3. But it's not like that at all.
Christianity. Mickey Lee also 47 like Christian. Year after year, the people who die will die in connection.
He's over 3 minutes again, making a point.
And again, I mean,
so you get dinged for that.
I talked about murder by numbers in 83, and now a call from a murder mystery hotel themed 83 day season of Big Brother dies like this.
This is just storytelling because we can discuss this out.
Okay, and he would have found an 83 compared with something else. Oh, it was 83 days after the Pope's birthday. It was 83 days after, Mike Tyson or a boxing. 83 days before a big game. 83 days before some historical event. He would just go back 83 days and find whoever fucking whatever happened. Or 83 days after it happened. And if that doesn't work, then he's got 3 other numbers that he gets to use. 34, 38, and whatever the other one is. So then he can just go through the whole murder thing. Be like, okay, well, 83, there's just nothing. Nothing that can really be I can tie it in. But yeah, I got, well, let's get going here. Something to do, but I actually have 10 minutes. 1 second here. All right, sorry, I'm back. Go get some. When is Zach going to release some game mantra? He does it every day, as far as I'm concerned. He releases game mantra literally every day.
No predictions could have made before. You could not have predicted.
Do you think we should just get rid of the whole field of detectives? Should we get rid of detectives?
This is a horrible point. I mean, it's because if he wasn't directly asking Mooncakes, I would deduct a point right here. Just for this is a stupid fucking question. This has nothing. This is, in a way, he's also diverting from what she's asking. He's deflecting, kind of. But I mean, I'm not gonna go against it yet.
No,
Because detectives are only solving the crime after it happens.
yeah, but they're actually solving
Not all the time.
Like, they're actually solving something. I already said this. You can't prove that gematria is wrong. You can't prove that it's right. Therefore, it doesn't mean anything. There's a reason why mathematicians don't use it. Because, for example, in math,
Where's the proof that mathematicians don't use it?
you can look it up. Do mathematicians, have you heard of a mathematician, maybe a PhD mathematician that has used
Yeah, name an engineer that's using English gematria to build a skyscraper or nuclear power.
gematria in their research? No. And the reason
Hold on. When I was at LSU on their campus talking about all the people that were sacrificed in their community for Joe Burrow's great championship, again, the day Joe Burrow transferred to LSU, Billy Cannon died on Cannonball Day, which is important to the Jesuits. Every year they have a cannonball ritual on Cannonball Day. There were a lot of professors who stopped and talked to me. None of them
I don't even think that's true. I'm not even gonna look that one up. That's just stupid.
wanted to be on camera, but a lot of them found this very interesting and fascinating.
So I am gonna ding him right here. He did not answer her question again. How come these gematrians can't see? He's literally, this is the 9th deflection, 9th or 10th one. He hasn't answered one of Mooncake's questions. This is Mooncakes versus Zach, not Zach versus Mooncakes. Zach has to prove his gematria to her, or she is going, or her to debunk it. In almost every question she asks him, he freaking deflects, doesn't answer the question.
The reason they don't want to be on camera and talk about it is that they said, it could cause problems for them in their profession. Our society has a stigma with conspiracy and occult. And again, people stay in their lanes because they have jobs, and they have jobs to preserve because they have bills to pay. Money essentially keeps everybody in line. And by the way, with regards to money,
especially you. This guy loves money. I mean, he probably fucks money. He probably, right after that camera goes off, he probably withdraws some cash and fucks it.
I'm in Canada, so I'm not sure it's the same, but in the U.S., that there's 12 Federal Reserve banks, and to know which bank it came from.
All right. Oh, how many Federal Reserve banks? How many Federal Reserve banks are in this? Okay, so he is Boston, New York, Philly, Chicago, Minneapolis, Kansas, Dallas. Okay, so he didn't lie about that one. Surprise! I think out of all the fact checks I've done with him so far, 2 or 3 of them were right. Most of them have been wrong or exaggerated.
It will say A1, B2, C3, D4, E5. It's right on the money. The letters and the numbers for the 12 Federal Reserve Bank.
That's how we date things. What I'm trying to say is that the reason why mathematicians will never use gematria, and I'll keep saying it and you look it up, is that for one, gematria has no fixed rules. As you said, you use 4 ciphers in order to do all of this. Right? It has no real predictive power. I asked you to give me a prediction. You can't give me a prediction. Not only
I have
that,
a million correct predictions. I have so
I have a million, but I won't show any of them. I just made ice cream. I just built a chair out of fucking feathers. I built an atomic bomb. And everything that comes out of my mouth is 100% correct. Okay?
predictions. Here's a book with a lot of reviews, even a lot more than a lot of celebrity books, that accurately forecast the biggest event of our lifetime would end, and it did hit right after Super Bowl 56, and the industry no predicted power.
No, it doesn't, because you're explaining things after it's already happened, which any 2020 vision, anybody can do that. There's no way for Josh to be wrong, which means there's no truth to it. It has no way to be right. That's why it's not verifiable. I cannot use falsification in order to verify Gematria. Therefore, it can't be used. It is not an accurate system. It's fine.
I mean, she just destroyed him right there. That's when Porky the Pig. That's all, folks. That right there is defeat. That's beyond defeat. I mean, not let alone 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29 errors, mistakes, deflections, talking more than 3 minutes, not getting your points. I mean, Zach's beating himself, really. Most of these are just him not having any, like, if he's going, I haven't even marked the ones where when he makes a point, but he doesn't prove it. If I added those up too, he'd be probably at like 35 right now. If you're going to bring up a point, you have to prove it. Every fucking claim that he's made, I have brought it up. I looked it up, and like 2 or 3 of them were right. I don't know how many, but a lot more than he's been right. If you're going to say we win day after day with sports betting, you need to show win-loss ratio. You can't just say, I win every day. That's not how things work. That's not how you prove something. You are not proving anything by this saying, I said I did that, therefore it's true. That's not how proving something works. If you have it proved, you have it documented, show the fucking proof. Zach knows what, dude, almost everybody asks these same questions every time that he goes into a debate. So he should have he should have something ready. A prediction ready, or correct predictions that have happened. Already ready. Because every debate, someone asks, do a live prediction every single time. If you can't do a live prediction, and you keep asking people to debate you, then you shouldn't be debating anybody, because you're not, you know exactly what people are going to ask. You know what they're going to ask. They're going to ask that one question every single time. And then you're going to dodge, tiptoe, and deflect. You claim it is a predictive model. Therefore, you have to do this. Find a video or something. So prove he actually is even betting on me. Right.
It's fun to
Here's the reality, Mooncakes. Nobody has called more sports futures in the history of this world than the guy you're looking at right now. And that's just a fact.
No, that's a really bold claim. And since he can't prove that, you can't prove it. How do you prove that? You would be all over the internet. I mean, it would be insane. That is such a generalized, subjective claim, beyond subjective, and definitely 99.9% probably untrue. You cannot state that. It's not how this works. That's not how a debate works. I'm sorry. You guys just say, well, you're going to be, we call it biased. I am a little biased, but like, I've dinged Mooncakes even on way less shit than even Zach.
Zach, I'm not going to take that.
No, you can't tell me he doesn't have any predictive power. We nailed all of the recent elections. We called so many stories. We circled the date.
No, he literally, what was he saying? He changed his mind thinking Kamala was going to win, and then he said that Hillary was going to.
For the biggest news stories of the year in January, we had Israel attacking Iran on one of those dates. We had the Charlie Kirk assassination and more.
No, you didn't have a Charlie Kirk assassination. You said someone's going to die on this day. That's not a prediction because someone dies every fucking day. I just said there's over 1 million fucking popular motherfuckers out here that have been or currently are. You have 365 days a year. 365 divided by 365 is 1, equaling 100%. So then you keep going up, and now the percentage gets higher and higher and higher. You have a 10,000% chance that a famous person or previously famous type person will die every fucking day for the year because you only have 365 days. It's not 10,000, it's probably 7,000%, but regardless.
Oh, because we understand, it's not because we're psychics over here. It's because we understand the way this cabal operates by this total letters and numbers and dates.
But I want Klein to believe that you're a smart man. You do your research on this sport. I don't think you're a sports guy. You're a sports guy. You do your research, right? I think, obviously, you care about this stuff. So, no, I don't think you're just guessing. But I don't think gematria is the reason why you're winning. And, of course, you have losses. With winnings comes losses. Let's be honest.
Good point.
I'm going to tell you on the internet. We're going to talk about our wins every single time. We're never going to discuss our losses. We don't do that.
It's not a perfect system, and it used to be a lot easier. That's also how you can see the game is changing. There are certain patterns that used to be what you could bet the house on. You can't do that anymore. But you can still win consistently. It's just like yesterday. I didn't feel like yesterday was going to be a good day. We went 5-4 yesterday if you took all my picks, but you would have done better than that because I just said stick with hockey. If you stuck with hockey, you went 4-1.
Zach, I think you're good when it comes to gambling or sports betting, right? They always say the house always wins. Of course you're going to get a few wins, and of course you're going to get a few losses. That is what gambling is. But I don't believe you are winning because of gematria. And I feel like you're not addressing my point.
We're using to pick the games, and I don't watch the sports. I don't watch hockey. I can't even tell you what players are on the team. I can name 2 people in the whole NHL, and they're veterans now. Again, it is gematria that we're using. The patterns are so.
You could get information from other people. I'm not accusing you of that, but I'm just saying, overall, you could be getting information from people in your community of like, you know what bet should we go with? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What I'm trying to explain is, if you cannot prove that something is wrong, therefore you cannot prove that something is right. And you have to say that there's an issue with that. There is inherently an issue with that, and gematria does that. There's no way to verify it.
Let's look at an article written about me in 2017 by Vice News.
What? You see, now he's going to try to shift the conversation off.
Saying how weather warfare is a thing, and it's how they sync up the world of sports as well, along with your positive.
I'm just going to my charger. Oh, Zach, I'm just going to grab my charger for my computer, guys. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Again, I want to revisit this because of just how benefited from this college football season. Ohio went on for look up soft food. It was based on Harvey Hurricane.
So she wasn't there. Mark, man, 1 hour and 26 minutes right here. All right.
In Harvey flooding Texas while LA was on fire with tuna fires. So they write this article and they make fun of what I'm saying about how important the number 52 is to weather warfare and flooding and how important it was to that World Series. Matt Harvey was the first pitcher to pitch in Houston after Houston flooded from Harvey 52 days before the World Series. And I used to have the clip on my channel, which is 20 sometimes, but Fox News interviewed a woman after the flooding in Houston.
How convenient that all his correct predictions supposedly are all gone.
lived on a hill in the neighborhood. She had the only home that wasn't flooded, and they asked her how she felt to have not had her home flooded, and she put her hands in the air and said, "I feel like I won the World Series." And I was saying to Bill right then, I said, "Come on, you guys, this is how it works. The weather's rigged." And Bill, I think that's crazy, but again, look up the 19.
This is, you can't have a debate like this. You can't. You need to be able to show all this stuff and verify it. It literally says that. When you look up the rules on how to debate, because if there was a judge right here, the judge would be like, "All right, can you pull that up?" "No, I can't." "Well, then everything you're saying is bullshit then. Because when the politicians debate, they have a judge, and the judge literally, if they're like, okay, a percentage of the population is this, that, and the other, and then they look that up, and they're like, oh yeah, they verify if they're lying or not, and yeah, they verify if they're lying, right? And no, the correct percentage is this. So there's no mediator here. So it's just Zach's word against what? You're just saying you need to prove it. You need to show your work. How come he doesn't show anything that in the last 5 years? He's got plenty of shit. He won't show it though. You can go look it up. You're the one testifying it. The burden of proof is on you. You need to show your proof. Why do I gotta go and dig up your proof for you to prove to me? What the fuck? That's not how you debate. That's not debating people. I'm sorry. This is not. Zach is a horrible debater. I don't know why you guys think he wants to debate it. I mean, if he were to go up against me and we were like gonna do it legit, I would do it on CTs, and CT would have to be a judge. And then I would ask CT. I would like him to bring up this proof. Not even Andrew Wilson is that, like, apparently he's so good at debating, dude.
1896 U.S. Air Force document holding the weather by 2025. I'll tell you what, they figured it out way by 2025. Anyway, they make fun of this. So here we are this year, and again, just every year there's all these weather warfare rituals. Here, let me point them out.
Yeah, that's true.
The ciphers real quick. And these things. Enlil is the Babylonian god of storms and floods. And this whole knowledge of...
I believe that's incorrect. Yeah, I knew that was wrong. The primary Babylon god of storms and floods is Hadad, or Hadad, or Eskir. So another wrong. Enlil, I believe, is the Sumerian god. Sumer is not Babylon. I believe Babylon's Assyrian. What ancient civilization is in Mesopotamia? Yeah, Sumerian. Yeah. The other one is the one. Adad. Adad is the god of storms. Akkadian. There are, okay, so there is some Enlil or in Babylon. But hold on, what else to go? Okay, the god of Earth. See if Enlil and others. So, yeah. Hadad is the Babylonian, not Enlil.
Kabbalah and letters and numbers, it goes back to Babylon. But you can see how Flood, Earth, and Enlil overlap. And again, there's.
And that's not the only thing Enlil is. Enlil is also the god of Earth, storms, water, and wind.
Here, we just had LA get smashed with flooding on Christmas Eve. The flood rains came down 52 days after the Dodgers just won the World Series. And realize this article is also about another Dodgers World Series. And there's been a lot of crazy, bizarre things with weather in LA in the period that they've had this dominant baseball team. And the flooding officially happened the next day, 53 days after the Dodgers won the World Series. We had LA to win the World Series this year. It began on Jackie Robinson's 53rd death anniversary. A man died at 53. And this year the Dodgers picked up the 53rd World Series win for the National League. This stuff goes on year after year. Mooncakes, about these ciphers up here. You see how Los Angeles is 109?
Yes.
Okay, do you see the Yankees is also 109?
Yeah, in the
reverse. And do you see that shooting is also 109?
Yeah. Can you do the first one again?
Sir? Los Angeles? Yeah. Los Angeles, 109.
The reverse is 161.
Which also comes up with LA Sports. But again, I just want you to see that Los Angeles, Yankees, and shooting are all 109. No, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because when the Dodgers won the World Series in 2024,
I almost want to give him a ding on this because she's trying to make a point. And he's just going to keep babbling over because she's about to bring up a really good point. I wonder if she brings it up. I can't remember.
They won it with their 109th win of the season, defeating the Yankees. And the three times in history that the Dodgers have beat the Yankees in the World Series, a president was shot in that year.
The Dodgers didn't play the Yankees in this year's World Series. I mean, what are you getting at? The Dodgers didn't play the Yankees this year, so
it was 63 when JFK was shot. It was the year Reagan was shot and survived. Of course, Trump has parallels to Reagan. Hollywood actors both were on Mega. And it was the year that Trump was supposedly shot, which looked like a total hoax. Do you want to guess how many days it was from the Trump shooting to the Dodgers winning the World Series over the Yankees? 109? It was 109 days. Okay?
But here's the thing: the first thing they put in Los Angeles.
Hold on, just so you know, we had that World Series figured out way before it happened, and we had it measured to that date, understanding.
Prove it. Prove it. Show the video. What? Why can't you show it now? The World Series is already over. You already made your fucking shekels. Prove it, motherfucker. Otherwise, your shit's just bunk. That's not proving nothing. You're not proving anything by saying it. You need to prove it. That's how a debate works. Is this guy fucking mentally retarded? After Mooncakes makes this point, I get going.
These things.
When my team pitched the idea,
God, dude.
the pan that Sears likes to
I hate that.
The numbers weren't actually the same across the board. Two of those birds, the reverse were run right before the orbital number, they were different. For Los Angeles, the the reverse was 161. So how do you acknowledge that in your brain? You just say, okay, well, at least one of the numbers was 109? Is that how we're doing it?
Well, what we're looking at, this is the system, correct? This is the system. These, or at least that's how I learned it from the secret teaching of all ages.
No, you didn't. 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 It's not in that book at all. It's not in that book. It's not in that book. It's not in that book. This system is not in that book. It's not in that book. It's not in that book. It's not. It's not in it. That's why he'll never give you the page number. Give me the page number. Let's see it in the book. Let's see it.
And this is the reality, that these words share that numerical value. And again, the history. The only 3 times the Dodgers beat the Yankees in the World Series, a president was shot in that year. And the year the Dodgers just won it, it just happened to be 109 days after the Trump.
But they didn't play the Yankees. So what are you getting at?
Shooting. Here, to make another point.
And when Trump he wasn't president. Well, which was what, last year? Wasn't even president yet.
Just before that World Series was played, Fernando Valenzuela, a former Dodger.
You got to interrupt him, Mooncakes.
You see that his birthday is November 1st. Hold on. This year,
Hold
the
on.
Dodgers won the World Series with their 106th win on his birthday anniversary. This year, when the Dodgers got it, they had to win 106 games to win it, and they did it on his birthday anniversary. And here's the other thing. They did it while Jackie Robinson would be 106 years old if he were alive. Again,
If he were alive 106 years old, no one lives that long, ever. Why? Why would they do a ritual on a guy who's been dead for I don't even know how long? That doesn't make any sense. You don't do rituals for dead people.
World Series began on his 53rd death anniversary. A man died at 53. As again, Los Angeles picks up the 53rd win for the National League in the World Series all time.
That to me is a cherry pick because you're literally trying to find something to have the 53. The only thing you can find is Jackie Robinson, who was not only dead, but hasn't been in the game for I don't even know how long. From the time that he quit playing the game. So it shouldn't be his death anniversary. It should be the day that he quit playing baseball. That should actually be it. But it didn't work that way, so the quack had to find something else. This is a cherry pick. This is probably why the guy doesn't do very well in sports picking.
In LA floods, officially 53 days.
So Zach isn't even trying to debate. He's trying to sell his shit to the audience using Mooncakes as a means of getting new people to come in and watch. He knows that CT's going to stream it. So CT's streaming it. And the people watching, they're going to be listening to this. And that was Zach selling.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. Lots of numbers and patterns.
Oh, really?
But it is not consistent. That's why I point out the difference where, okay, you're able to connect some of the numbers, but the reverse was different. For 3 of those words that you showed me, one of them was not the same as 161, Los Angeles right there. Now, I guess you can take the 109, but once again, you're using 4 different systems, none of which that you can actually verify. If anything,
What do you mean they can't verify?
Joshua violates when I say
Yeah. That's a good point, Cakes, actually. That's actually one of my points. So that brought up, and Cuts has brought up. I'm going to finish this point right here. I'm going to get going, and then I'll come back in a little bit. Hopefully the final. More than likely, I'm probably just going to do Hubbard and her, because I already know the gematria frauds are probably going to come in, and they're going to say some stupid ass shit. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll stay. It's super fucking cold outside. Sam was on Bob's last night. Oh yeah. I might just finish this thing right now because it's super fucking cold. I just don't want to go. I don't want to go outside. I do have to go downstairs and check. Fuck it. We'll finish this. Fuck.
Verified, it can't be right, it can't be wrong. Gematria itself violates probability. You thousands of matches.
You do. You can't stop her from trying to verify her point. So this is what he does. He'll what he tries to do is he tries to throw off his opponent who's about to make a really good point. So maybe you forget it, and then he's going to try to divert. I don't remember this part. He's probably going to try to divert the topic. He's probably going to gaslight her right here. He's going to gaslight her, and he's going to divert the topic. What she's trying to get at is that if you guys have ever made a pictogram or a graphing chart. So if you draw a graph, right? So one line going up and down, and the other one, left to right, right? And then you have the 4 ciphers on the bottom, and then you have numbers 1 through, we'll just do 322. And then you just you put in a word, and that word equals all these other numbers. So then you literally have a whole plot that's completely scattered. And you're not able to pinpoint where the actual dots go. So what she's trying to get at is if the ordinal cipher is, this number, but this reverse reduction cipher is the same number. Where does it say that when you're trying to pinpoint the dots on the graph accurately? Where does it say I go from this point? This word equals. We'll just go with what they got right here. 113. This word equals 113, and another word equals 113 in a different sign. So where does it say that's where the dot needs the line from each point has to get connected? Think about that. Think of a graph. Picture it. Close your eyes, people. Picture a graph. Okay. Close your eyes. A line going up and down. A line going left and right. And then on the bottom line, dash, English ordinal, dash, full reduction, dash, reverse ordinal, dash, reverse ordinal reduction. And then on the line that goes up and down, 0 all the way to 322. And the dots are going to be the words. So one word equals 113, another word is 113. And then you have a date over here, and then you have another word over here in a different cipher. So when you connect the dots, are we getting a straight line, or are we just having a whole scatter of infinite possibilities? That's what she's trying to get at. Where is the rule?
Yeah.
So Kobe Bryant dies at 41 on the 157th day of his age.
And she's getting frustrated because she's trying to get her point across, and you keep interrupting her. Because you keep doing that, that's against debating rules. You're not letting the other individual get their point across. They are the questioner. in debates, the questioner gets to have a rebuttal to what they want to ask you. That is the rule of debating. I went over the rules on the last stream. Go back to the last stream.
What is the probability that this would just be a coincidence?
What is the probability that this would give? I can't give you a percentage, but you do realize that, like, statistically, there are going to be matches. There are going to be.
Did I write a book about Kobe Bryant?
And this is another thing. Did I write a book about Kobe Bryant? How the fuck is she supposed to know this? Dude, your book is not verifiable proof of anything. Your book is not a source. That's a biased piece of information, believe it or not. You can't use your book as a source in a debate. Not to mention, your source, your book, has no citations, no bibliography, no resource page, no APA format. It is not a credible source of information when it comes to anything scholarly.
And how his whole career was scripted around the number.
How is she supposed to know that? How is she supposed to know that? You need to show it. It literally says that in the rules of debate. A person unaware of information, you need to present that information. It needs to be accurate information. You have to show it. You can't just show a book and say, this is what the book says. You need to show it. It's so fucking irritating. Like, I could tell she's starting to get frustrated because he's tiptoeing around, he's deflecting, he's not answering questions.
In 2017?
Zach, Pete, can I ask you a question? How come Jamasha?
No. That's my problem. Hold on.
Let me respond.
This is currently the top selling wall on TikTok Shop. It's nice and compact. You can still fit up to 15 parts plus cashing at the same time. So it
I did try to about Kobe Bryant and how his whole career was scripted around 41, maybe 49 at 40.
How come Jamasha never creates new knowledge? It only discusses the retroactive information. It doesn't actually give us new knowledge. It doesn't design anything. Gematria is just being used to discuss things that have already happened in our past. We're already using 20.
That's not true. That's not true. The day that Trump's ex-wife died, I said, here's more proof that he's going to win the upcoming 60th election.
Predictions. You can be. It's just gambling. Yeah, you can be 50%. It's a coin flip.
That's not gambling. That's showing people that their election system is rigged and they're literally ritually sacrificed.
Yeah, he never said that. I do remember that stream. He said this could be a ritual for his upcoming going into the 60th election. This might be a ritual. He uses the words might, maybe, probably. That means not prediction. Once you use iffy fucking language like that, that means your prediction's dead. It's not.
People really rig elections.
Just coin flipping. It can be 50-50 either way. So if I see tomorrow, you know what?
She's got that Canadian
accent. The
accent.
60th election, he hasn't even announced that he was going to become.
Show it.
But that he was going to run the election. They're like, he's not even going to run. You're wrong.
I predict tomorrow it's going to be sunny outside. What are my chances? 50-50.
Depends on where you live. You're in a beautiful place to world, right? I mean, some places sunny, some places.
That's my prediction. And if it goes wrong, I can finally find a way through Gematria.
Hold on. Do me a favor here. Again, what are the odds that Kobe would die at 41 on the 157th day of his age?
What do you mean? Okay.
Maybe, listen, this is the system, right? You keep asking me, how do we decide which site we're going to use? We don't.
Cut. CM just sent me a comment. Apparently he's doing a live. So 90 minutes he's gonna do a live. I guess that's when I'll go in and just crush him in a debate.
That's my prediction. And if it goes wrong, I can finally find a way through Gematria.
Hold on. Do me a favor here. And again, what are the odds that Kobe would die at 41 on the 157th day of his age?
What do you mean?
Listen, this is the system, right? You keep asking me, how do we decide which side we're going to use? We don't. We look at the system. Here, I'll show you a few more things about this. He died in L.A., right? L.A. equals 41 of 13. You might recall his daughter was 13.
Austria has no risk of failure, Zach. There's no risk of failure.
Hold on. Kobe died on the 26th of January. By the way, you just had Don Bryant of Memphis die on the 26th of this month. Eldridge.
So you have 30, 31. So you have 1 through 31. The chances are someone's name's not going to equal anything. But like he's using Bryant, he used Kobe Bean Bryant, and he's used Kobe Bryant. So he and Kobe. So he's using 16 different ways, and then when you only have numbers 1 through 31, and you might as well just take out half of those numbers. The odds of Kobe Bryant is 4 Bryant. So 10 letters equaling anywhere between 15 and 31 well, I guess he's using Bryant right here. So he dies on the 26th day of the year, 26th day of the month. So Bryant is Bryant. So 6 letters. And the odds of all of that equaling in his system that he created, in a way he created, is insurmountably high because the way that the code that he made up is written. So you're not going to get with 6 letters anything under 6. So we'll just go with 7 to 31. 31 being the max amount of days in a month, and that's January's 31. So then, and then you have to add that plus the amount of letters that he has. So then that'll be 13. So now you divide 13 by 31. And the chances of that equaling in between 13 and 31 is extremely high.
Right. Eldridge Bryant of the Temptations died on the 26th. Do you see how Bryant is 26 and 37?
She's getting frustrated because he will not let her make her.
37th anniversary of Bear Bryant's death, okay? Now, hold on.
The connection.
Hold on.
I know you're going to find
Bryant died on the 157th day of his age. That's the 37th Bryant number. He died in Los Angeles, which also equals 37, a number that plays.
So now you're using LA, Los Angeles. So you're using multiple different ways of a name. That is inconsistent. That's inconsistency. For a ritual to work, it has to be consistent. So it will have to be LA or Los Angeles. It can't just be however one that you want to use. LA, California, LA, CA, Los Angeles, CA, Los Angeles, California. You can't do that.
With great game, LA sports.
Do you remember earlier when I said something to you? I said you're able to change the numbers how you want them. You're able to change the words. You're able to change all these things in gematria. Therefore, we cannot verify.
Hold on. Do you know who Bear Bryant is?
Pardon, sorry, go ahead.
Oh my God. Oh, he's annoying.
Bear Bryant is?
Baron
Bear
Bryant?
Bryant. He died on January 26th. He's considered the greatest football coach of all time, just like Kobe's considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time. In chapter 1 of my first book I wrote, I bring up how important 26 is to these great athletes, from Kobe to Jordan, and why 26 is so important. Names like Jordan equals 26. Athlete is 26. These men are worshipped as gods. In the Bible, God makes Adam on the 26th verse. Adam has the 26 connection like God. In Hebrew, the 4-letter name of God equates to 26. It's interesting how in English it's changed into a 3-letter word that equals 26, but that's because this is the Catholic Church's manipulation. The Catholic Church teaches the Trinity. And that's why Kobe died on a Sunday while traveling from Catholic Mass. And hold on, he died on the 41st day of the Pope's age. Here's interesting. See how helicopter crash equals 83? His death was synced with the 83-year-old Pope and paid tribute to the football coach who died in 83.
You synced it up to the Pope. I guarantee you, putting Kobe Bryant's name here, and out of those numbers, you find a bunch of other things, and correlate them with those other things. That is that's where she's trying to get at, and he won't let her speak. He keeps interrupting her, and he just I can't keep up. He keeps interrupting. Where in a way he's been going on for 7 minutes straight with Mooncakes getting less than 20 seconds in the last 7 minutes. So
Brian,
speaking.
Football 83. Remember, Murder by Numbers came out in 83. Hold on, no, I gotta finish making this point.
You're not making a point.
I gotta finish making this point because
No, you don't need to finish. This is a selling point. This is the point where he's trying to sell. He's selling right now. This is not anything to do with the debate.
the day that we met, I told you, I said, watch this 56 number, because you were mocking what I was doing. You said, oh, this is all a bunch of bullshit. Watch this 56
It is.
number.
Yeah, it is.
The very next day, the 56th pick in the draft, that at 24 days.
And he's been over 3 minutes straight. So he started at 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 8 seconds. So another ding. It's taking you over 3 minutes to make a point. I'm not even gonna give you any more leeway because now you're being a dick and you're talking over her. And you're not letting her, and you're dodging her questions. Talking about Kobe Bryant, she doesn't give a fuck about Kobe Bryant. She's trying to make a point and keep interrupting. That is a loser.
Was the team owner? He's 83. This happens all the time. Here's what I got to say about it. Because of people like Jerry Jones who benefit off the masses, who exploit them every day, who participate in these rigged games.
Guess who exploits the masses? The one that's sitting there acting like gloating like he's the greatest thing since cheese.
You do murder people for their own wealth and success because they're part of this sick of all.
And claiming that Jerry Jones murders people.
Because of people like you, they're going to continue to get away with it every single day.
So now he's blaming Mooncakes for people getting murdered. He just blamed Mooncakes for people getting murdered. That's slandering. That's defamation.
They're going to murder young people like you from the one. How old are you? You're probably around 24.
I'm 27.
You're all right. You're a little bit older. Yeah. But again, they do this every day. They make entertainment. They make Prime Video thing. You know that Amazon put out the series, the ABC Murders by Agatha Christie.
Still going. So he's been going almost 4 minutes now without her talking. So 134.08, and it is 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Hollywood puts out Murder by Numbers. They record songs about Gematria, the killing name.
My question.
Somehow, some way, everyone just thinks this is somehow.
You answer my question.
The thing of the priest is singing about how it's as simple to kill people as just singing A, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you see what he's doing right here? He's just talking, going, and he will not let the interviewer, the questioner, finish the question. And he's tiptoeing. But until she can clearly give out the question, I can't ding Zach yet, or I ding him for talking for 3 minutes and not through his phone.
How do you
Ricky Lee
CT just went live.
1-3 after being in the 83-day murder mystery. Talk to me.
Exactly. How come mathematicians don't use gematria?
Again, here, technically, I'm a mathematician.
What, CM, are you listening in right now? Because you just added me or subscribed to my channel.
You're not a
I'm an accountant.
It's not a mathematician.
Accountant. I have a master's in teaching.
Prove it. Show your degree. We can't find it. Gematria affects sports 3 and 2 in NBA yesterday, 1 and 2 in NCAAF. Keenan, are you subscribed to his Patreon?
My roommate, all through college, his degrees in mathematics. I had to help him out with his homework all the time.
Again, you can't just say stuff in a debate. You need to be able to prove it. Just, well, I did this, I did that. Can you prove it? So he literally went 500 yesterday, which is actually pretty high for him. That's actually a good day for Hubbard.
How come, like, legit mathematicians, how come NASA isn't using gematria?
What makes somebody legit?
Is it
What makes somebody legit? So, dude, this is another deflection, another ding. That's a very he's getting all ramped up right now. He's getting all antsy. She's asking a very simple question. Why aren't mathematicians using this?
come on, Zach.
Is it because New York Times didn't feature this in their paper and say, hey,
No, they're not going to feature it in your paper. You don't have citations. You don't have a proper APA formatting in your book. You don't have a bibliography or a reference page. It's unprofessional. That's like me going into a business meeting, an $8 billion company, in sandals, a freaking straw hat, looking like Luffy from One Piece.
somebody should go out and read this book. Is that why I'm not legit?
There, you see how much he's like trying to sell his book every 5 minutes, always selling the sports. You see what he's doing? He's selling his shit. Because he knows CT's restreaming it, and he's using a pretty girl like Mooncakes to get people to come in, especially black.
Hey, what? Probably every book written about cooties, they didn't nail exactly when the scam was going to end like this book did.
The scam didn't end until May of 2023, actually. You stupid bitch. We already proved you wrong on that. May 11th, 2023. What are you going to say? 5-11-115? Cock in my mouth.
Would you go to a doctor that just says they're a doctor? Would you go to a doctor with a PhD who went to medical school for 12 years?
I went to school for 1 more year.
That's not what she just asked you. She didn't ask you about your school. She asked you, would you go to a doctor and would you let them do gematria? That's what she just asked. Another deflection. Jesus Christ, dude, this guy's a...
1 more year to have my PhD for the record. I could get that in 1 year if I wanted to.
We're going into life-saving surgery. Would you go with the doctor that's been doing it for 25 years or the doctor off the street that just said, I'm a surgeon? You're going to go with the person that you can verify has a PhD and has the...
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
To actually help you. What I'm trying to say, Zach, is there is a reason why government agencies, casinos, are not using gematria. I proved you wrong by going to the casino, asking them.
Gematria, the casinos are 100% using gematria. It's how they set the lines for these games.
Yeah. All the people working at the casinos, all of them, every single casino employee, they're all in on it. I mean, I've already dinged him on that deflection because she asked him how come in the last stream why aren't the casinos using the gematria? When I asked, and they said they have no idea what the fuck she's talking about. And probably looking at her like she's fucked up.
Unders every day.
You told me
Hey, just pay attention to when the Giants and the Jets play, how often the over-under is set at 39.5. You laugh your ass off.
exactly.
That's not what she's been asking you. She's not asking you anything about sports. Do you see that he this deflects it and just shifts it in sports? Just sell it. Sell the sports, Zach. That's what he's saying. Gotta sell the sports. Gotta sell the sports. Just don't answer any of this bitch's questions at all. Why did you even invite her? Oh, wait, I know why. We all know why. But if you were going to be a legit fucking host and host a debate, you are answering her questions. I'm literally sitting, everyone's sitting here, and you dodge every fucking question, and then you link it to sports, and then you just go on a fucking tirade. Answer the question. Why aren't mathematicians and doctors and casinos using your gematria? That's the question, and he can't answer it.
Hold on, NY 39, New York 39,
This isn't answering her question.
New York, NY 39, NYC 39, United Nations in New York's 39 for all. Everything about New York is 39. The first governor, George 39, Clinton 39.
Dude, what does the first governor of New York in their first name? Come on. Yeah, we all know it's all fake.
About New York is 39. We laugh our ass off at how many times 39 hits in the Ring New York game as they set the over-under at 39.5. I mean, stop telling me that the casinos don't do this. You just said
You can't prove that the casinos do it, though. She actually went and asked. Now, she doesn't have proof of it. So I do have to ding her on it. She does get a ding because she didn't prove that she really did do it. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you could trust anybody in a room, which one are you going to trust more, Zach or her?
person, hold on. You just said when you go to the person who's been doing it for a long time, I've been doing this for over 12 years, and you know what? Me, amassed a fortune from doing this for over 12 years. And
Yeah, you did. You did mass a fortune, didn't you? Yeah, see, he didn't lie. You see how he uses his language? You see how he does it?
There's the person who just learned about this a month ago on some Dweebs channel, CT, who's a raccoon. Just about shit. That's the one thing you haven't come with it. You, like him, you think this is some kind of coincidence day after day. Dude, here. Again, I gotta do you a favor, Mooncakes.
Well, because they don't believe in your gematria, that makes them a raccoon. I mean, dude, that's stupid. And it's really hard to keep track. She's only been able to actually talk 8 times, and we're an hour and 41 minutes in. I can't. Zach's had 18 starting times. She's only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 8, yeah, 8 starting times.
Made one good point in this debate.
She made a lot of good points. You just deflect them all. You just don't answer any of them.
And when you wanted to pulling up the list of words, you couldn't even come up with 2 words that have the same word.
She came up with 3. It was human, vaccine, and moon.
You want to say that's a coincidence.
So he said 2. It was actually 3. So that's wrong. So when you say wrong things and you can't prove things, you deflect and you go more than 3 minutes without proving any point, and you keep going on and on. You get dings. I even dinged the Mooncakes with the casino thing. Mooncakes has 4 dings. That should tell you, because she really hasn't been able to talk this whole debate. Zach has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36 dings so far.
words you had to pull out here. Not a single one even have the same value.
Bring up the words in the list. We came up with multiple words that match because guess what? There's an infinite amount of possibilities. That is what I'm trying to explain. There's no way to verify it's right. There's no way to verify it's wrong. Therefore, it cannot be used. It is just used in tradition to be symbolic. It is nothing more. It is nothing less. You want to find meaning in it because it does something for you. It does something for your grades. Probably it don't mean it, which I understand completely.
No. That's not.
What is that?
Yeah, he's getting high on whack and all.
But what I want to do is expose corruption because when I was
No, you don't. No, you don't. You want to make shekels. Shekels. Everybody buy.
18 and I've never been anybody's fool, I got really annoyed with watching the physically impossible destruction of the two towers that look like an 11 in the 11th state on the 11th day of the month, 11 years to the day of the father of the president, saying that a new world order will be realized.
And you haven't done anything since. Yeah, I know CT is live.
Career of terror when they tell you flight AA-11 started off the whole thing and he was the 11th director of the CIA. And speaking of the director of the CIA, I just want you to see something. World Trade Center, 185, in the most simple cipher. How many days after Bin Laden's birthday do you think it was that the World Trade Center complex came down?
I don't know. There's 4 numbers there. So which one do we choose?
We're going to hit all 4.
CM isn't trying to push his debate.
That's what we're going to do. How
No one's going to go to CM's channel to debate FBA.
days after?
I don't even know how to debate an FBA. I don't have an opinion. I just think it's stupid.
Bin Laden's birthday wasn't.
I guess that's my opinion.
I don't know.
It was 185. Okay.
Exactly.
World Trade. Hold on.
I know that. We got different answers. That question is completely right. Right there, you and I got different answers. I guessed 247. You said 185. Therefore, we can't prove that gematria is real. We are getting different answers. If
Well,
you
we're gonna go through every single one of these numbers. Now they all fit in with ritual.
How do you know this ritual is specifically for this cipher and this ritual is for this cipher? What type of rituals are for which type of ciphers? They have to be consistent. So this is something that Mooncakes doesn't, that she has a hard time with, because she's not able to, because, I mean, she's only trying to debunk gematria after a week of trying to maybe get her research, or in a couple of days. Meanwhile, Cuts and I and a few others have years of debunking, and we still keep finding more. You need to, if you're going to have a system, you have to have a set of rules for your system. So English ordinal ciphers for these types of rituals. It has to be consistent across the board. It can't just be jumping around like I told you about the graph. You can't do that. Rituals don't work that way. Therefore, it's an inconsistent method. And math doesn't work that way because math isn't inconsistent.
Let me say this. If you use a real code, like Morse code or an actual cipher, every single person will get the same answer. Right there, we got different answers. You cannot verify gematria as real. There is no way to distinguish between what number to use. You cannot know.
It's the holidays.
I think she meant with cipher.
A 3-course meal wrapped in the festive
And I
holidays.
can tell she's getting frustrated because I don't blame her. I mean, this guy will make you want to bash your head against the wall because he's an idiot and a jerk.
Let me continue with the points. If you spell out September 11th, you can see it's 77, just like world.
Okay, so no one spells out the dates. So one time it's the date itself, 9/11, and then now it's another time. Now you spell it out, but that's not even the correct date. September 11th, 2001. That means you're saying every September 11th there would be a numerical ritual with those numbers. That's what the consistent pattern would have to be. That's how ritualism works.
Trade Center. Of course, that was a big number on that day because they told you Flight 77 hit the Pentagon, which is 77 feet tall. And if you look it up in the 9/11 Commission report, they say it took off at 8:20 and crashed at 9:37, which is 77 minutes later. To this day, there's still not any evidence that a plane hit. There's no video release, nothing, just 2 frames. The 247.
And don't get me wrong, I think that there's some, I don't believe in the official story of 9/11, but you don't need this to know what could have been.
From George Tenet becoming the head of the CIA, like Papa Bush used to be when he said 11 years to the day, September 11, 1990, that there'd be a new world order realized, a world free or terror. From George Tenet becoming the head of the CIA to 9/11, 247 weeks later. And what day did the World Trade Centers open? They opened on the 94th day of the year, April 4th, 73.
All right, he started ranting again at 1 hour, 41 minutes, 9 seconds. It's 1 hour, 44 minutes, 11 seconds. Another ding. Taking too fucking long to make his point.
MLK's assassination, which happened in 68, the same year the World Trade Center construction began.
I don't even time Mooncakes. Within the last 40 minutes of this debate, you don't even get to hear her. She got to get one decent talking point at 38 minutes and 12 seconds, and then another talking point at 41 minutes and 31 seconds, and then another good one at 1 hour, 13 minutes and 57 seconds. I mean, almost a whole half hour. She barely got to talk. I mean, there should be so many. Should be so many dings, and within that half an hour, she was trying to push the one point, and then she's barely got to speak sense. So we're already at an hour and 44 minutes, and she's hasn't had that much to say. That's more than 10 to 15 seconds without being interrupted. This is why you need to have a moderator with Zach.
One was made the emergency dialing code.
That's why with the Raging Tomato, that's why against Andrew Wilson, that's why you got it.
Terror is also 94 and 68, like how 68 again is the year the construction began, and 911 was made the emergency dialing code. 68 is also the year they approved fentanyl, the FDA, and it's the year that...
I believe that is actually correct. I don't think the FDA ever approved fentanyl. What does fentanyl have to do with the building of the trade centers? I mean, that, and COVID. I mean, doesn't make any sense. FDA first approved pharmaceutical fentanyl for medical use in '68. It was initially introduced as an intravenous angostatic in combination with droperidol, should be quackenol, under the brand name Inovar for use in anesthesia pain. 1990, FDA approved Durastic brand of the fentanyl transdermal patch. 1998, Antique fentanyl oral transmucus lozenge. So why isn't he mentioning these? The illegally manufactured fentanyl, which is distinct from the pharmaceutical product that began appearing at large scale in the 70s. So I can't really ding him on that. I guess he is right, technically. But correlating fentanyl to the World Trade Center, to buildings being built to a virus is retarded. They don't have any relationship to each other. And I don't know. You'll probably hear he probably won't do it because I haven't heard him say it in a while because I've already debunked him on it. But he might try to do every 19 years. But I've already debunked him on it. So
Sure wrote the first ever essay about coronavirus. So it's interesting how many things go back to 68. Out here in my neck of the woods, the United States and Oregon, they had to reverse their legalization of fentanyl.
There's no falsification test. There's no way to test gematria. That is the problem. If something
she's literally been on this one point, and Zach still hasn't been able to answer it since the 41st minute of this debate. So it's been an hour and 3 minutes, and Zach still hasn't been able to answer this.
What's her test? Is there any relevant to it?
Yes, you and I got different answers to the test. How is that possible? How do we know what's right then? You and I made different answers. There's no way to
These
prove
are all key events that they have everything to do with that day.
if there's no
All right. Bin Laden's birthday is March 10th. Okay.
you're gonna
March 10th.
And
The majority of the world writes that
Yeah.
day 10-3. How was Islamic terrorism on planes?
that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because this happened in America. We don't write that. So that's not an appropriate answer. I'm sorry. But if it's happening in this country, our measurements is imperial. We use Fahrenheit and for most of our measurements, and we use our date, the month, the day, and then the year. So to most of the world, that doesn't count. It has happened in this part of the world, so therefore it would be our kind of date. That's cherry picking to get the number that you want.
Average American and the world through Pan Am 103.
And that's not. You have two different numbers because that slash matters.
Bin Laden's father, look at how Bin Laden's father died in a plane crash on September 3rd in 67, right before 68, on 9/3, like how the World Trade Center was bombed in 93, like how Flight 93 is the mystery plane in Pennsylvania. Again,
there's an infinite amount of
And the one that he won't count, he'll be. If you count up all the prime numbers, they equals 263 to 56 prime. You see how you didn't put that one in? Because I debunked that. No, you forget like 93, and you gotta add that 263 to 93. And what would you get? 363 would be 100 minus 7 would be 356. So all the flights of 9/11 equal 356, 263. They all crash, according to the story. All the ones that crash into buildings. Yeah, see, that's cherry picking. They all crash.
connections. There's an infinite amount of connections in gematria.
Here, hold on. You know who graduated from college in 1968?
They don't
She's literally getting 5 seconds.
list earlier.
Hold on, let me show you how the 68 thing here. George W. Bush.
Here we go, another
And
146.
by the way, before I do this, just realize that CIA equals 68. They do this all the time with Trump, another CIA on the White House. Well, look at this. From George W. Bush's birthday, July 6th.
This is glorified astrology. This is just glorified astrology. It's numerology.
Really?
No, this is onomancy, technically. Okay, sorry.
You really think so? So, graduates from Yale School of Bones.
Again, Mooncakes hasn't had more than 10 seconds to speak since 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 57 seconds
68.
without being interrupted.
And 9/11 just happens that we're on the 68th day of his age. His daddy was once the 11th director of the CIA, and 11 years to the day gave his speech about a new world order, and then the World Trade Center comes.
This year, sleep resolution. put these down and go to bed. I'm going to bed.
Earlier, that coincidences happen. You said that to me. You said, yes, things can be coincidences. We started putting words into a calculator, and then we started connecting the numbers. Because guess what? There's going to be connections eventually. It doesn't mean anything.
Why does the media put out these stories?
So I was about to write it down. Maybe Mooncakes might get more than 10 seconds. At 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 52 seconds, she was able to talk, and now it's 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 2 seconds. Didn't get 10 seconds. After Zach got the rants, he's literally been able to rant for more than 7 minutes at a time. 1 hour and 29 minutes, he ranted for 7 minutes. 1 hour and 34 minutes and 8 seconds, he ranted for more than 3 minutes every time. And at 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 9 seconds, he ranted. At 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 1 second, he got the rant for almost a minute. You're going to tell me this person won the debate? Mooncakes has not, she only deflected one question, and I just think she just really didn't know how to answer it because it was a very dishonest question. But, I mean, I dinged her on it. I dinged her on the challenging on the cipher thing. And then I dinged her 4 times. And some of these things, are even more harsh than the things I dinged Zach on. Zach's got 15, 30, 37 dings. Half of those are deflections. Not answering her questions. This is against him. You are on the defense. You are supposed to present your information without you just talking. That's all Zach's done. He hasn't shown anything. He hasn't shown any correct predictions that he's ever done. And he didn't do one live. So therefore,
Just want to say,
and many other
one of the
things.
things they did for the anniversary of 9/11.
For 9/11, it's not working. It's what's going on? I don't understand. There's no way to verify this information, and I understand.
How can you not verify?
So that I can't even write down a time for Mooncakes. She doesn't even. She barely gets 5 seconds to talk.
Fine. The fact is, how
You give us one
events.
after everything's happened. You cannot give me hard predictions. You can't do, and you know you can't. You know it's a 50. It's a going
We've
to.
had a lot of very specific predictions that have been right on the money many years. I don't.
Let's see him. All right, I'm gonna put in 147. We'll see if he talks for more than 10 seconds. And I'm gonna write the seconds
I have to
down.
make any more predictions. Why is my
You don't get to define that term in a debate. In a debate, the questioner gets to ask you a question. You are the one that suggested. This is a predictive model. That means you need to either show a correct prediction before the event of sports or whatever, which you have your videos for and your notes. So why don't you show your notes on games that already happened? Right? So, then you don't have to do your selling. You see, because as soon as he shows those notes, no one's going to, after the fact, Zach equals 42, no one's going to sign up to his Patreon because all his notes say to get both narratives and hedge all your bets and that both teams have a chance of winning. That's his notes. I mean, I have a video on my channel. And then you can also go to Sports Gematria. Sports Gematria typically just does football because it takes a lot of hours of your day. You got to listen to this guy and and read through his notes of all because he has so much time because he doesn't work. So
YouTube channel been deleted 25 times?
never got deleted, and he has like 10 YouTube channels on YouTube right now.
I'd be able to show you a decade of a million correct predictions.
I don't know what you did to YouTube. I don't know. I'm
A
gonna say,
video like this.
Zach,
We accurately forecasted exactly what they would do on January 6th because it was simulated at Jesuit Georgetown on June 12th, 2020. And That was the last time I got any views. The whole channel was deleted. The whole channel was deleted once the video got over 100K views.
Flies in through window. Storm crowd TV show. How's it going? Cuts, can you verify? Make sure to stump and troll CM. Can you verify the Storm Crow?
Leave the whole channel. They're showing what they simulated it.
If we generate 10,000 random numbers right now between 1 and 1,000, guess what? We are going to find matches to important dates. I promise you, I guarantee it. It doesn't mean that those dates have meaning.
So I've already done this. So Zach uses at least 83 words and phrases. One of his, I've been in CTs often. Oh, hey, how's it going, Storm Crow? Thank you for coming in. I'm just reviewing the debate with Mooncakes and Zach. Zach uses, I used to be on Bob's. Oh, okay. Gospel Bob. So 83 times 4 ciphers is, what was it, 332? Let me just make sure, even though I've done this a million times. So 83 words and phrases times 4 ciphers equals 332. Right, and then the Bavarian Illuminati, he doesn't use it as much anymore, but he used to use it a lot. It's one of his highest numbers, 343. Right? So you do this 332. That's at all the combinations that you can get through 83 words and phrases times 4 ciphers. And then you divide it by the highest common denominator. You guys need to learn what lowest common denominators are, the greatest common denominator, mean, median, mode. This is how you differentiate probability. So you divide 343 by 343. Okay, you get 0.967. You round that up to 97%. So you have a 97% chance that if everything, any word or phrase, which he doesn't use more than 2 to 3 to 4, very rarely more than 4 words are in any of his gematria phrases that he uses, right? So then you get 332 combinations divided by how many days in the year, 65, that's 0.909. So that's 91% chance he can correlate any of these words and phrases, 83 words and phrases that he uses ritualistically daily, into a decode. So he has 91% chance that he can correlate it to a date and to a name. Zach said for a decade that there's no coincidences. Now he says there are when it doesn't fit his narrative. YouTube frauds is right. I told that hoe Mooncakes, bitch ain't nobody trying to hear you go blather into these. You don't need to say she's done nothing to. She doesn't do anything but she's attractive. Of course, she's going to show her titties. So what? She barely does. So I don't see the point. What, are you gay or something? Like, I'm not gonna complain. Go ahead and show them off. They're nice. But she's not saying anything slutty or hoish at all. So she right here is being very articulate. She could be better, but this isn't her territory, obviously.
It is just coincidence. It is trial and error. That's what we're doing. We're just having fun. But there's no reality to this, and I understand that you believe this. That's fine, right? But to say that this is somehow based in truth would be an outright lie. This is a bastardization of gematria, what it was originally supposed to be used for, and we're tricking people.
Hold on, let's make a point about that. Because Genesis 3:22 mentions the tree of life and knowing good and evil, and again, Kabbalah, there's 3 pillars and 22 paths, just like my skull and bones where Bush came from. They identify by order 3:22. But the evil half of this is using this knowledge for sorcery and spell casting, which is what we're exposing. So again,
yeah, but Kabbalah doesn't have English. It's not an English-based thing. It's a Hebrew, Jewish, Yiddish Hebrew, Yiddish, probably a different Jewish language. And even if it is, so what? That religion's subjective. It's religion. It's subjective. This comes from Kabbalah. That means Jewish, not Jesuit. Jesuits aren't doing Kabbalah.
Just making a bastardization out of knowledge. We're the ones exposing it.
Okay, so
No, when you don't expose witchcraft, you do it. Like you're doing the witchcraft. You're actually doing it too. But you're doing your own witchcraft because they're not doing this code. Because how you're doing it, there's no verifiable proof of your ciphers of anywhere. They don't exist anywhere. There's not even a definition for English gematria. It doesn't exist. You don't need to do this to expose the cabal. They expose themselves by other means. They're a lot more easier to prove.
if gematria is so great, why do you have failures? Why is every single prediction correct? If gematria,
Like I said, some people are dumb. I mean, you could argue that you shouldn't give people chainsaws because they cut their limbs off.
Check out these thermal winter boots. This winter, keep your hands warm with these wind boots.
wait, to math, for example, you and I can say right now, 2 + 2 = 4. There's no debate about that. We know it is. But with gematria, we can't do that. We can't prove that something is. That is.
You know what? She's right. And unfortunately, it's not like she knows any other Gematrian channels. You go to any other Gematrian channel, and they do their decoding all different.
It's not happening to gematria.
They're not an alphabetic word.
In alphabetic order, but Zach, there's 4 different types of
They're
gematria.
all based on the alphabetic word.
Zach, you and I just disagree. I said 247, you said 158. You're getting different
What is that, Cuts? Is that what's this fucking nuts? Yeah, another 43 minutes. Chaotic Truth is promoting this. That's pretty pathetic.
about that. We know it is. But with gematria, we can't do that. We can't prove that something is. That is not happening in gematria.
They're not an alphabetic word.
In alphabetic order, but Zach, you're using 4
There's no alphabetic order with a number system. It doesn't exist. You can't do that with a phonetic language.
different types of
They're
gematria.
all based on the alphabetic word.
Zach, you and I just disagree. I said 247, you said 158. You're getting different answers.
When I showed you how each of those numbers connected to World Trade Center were perfectly used in the ritual.
We connected 2 words right now. I bet on my life, you and I would have different answers for the interpretation of those words. And I'll give this to you. You can bring up 4 words, bring up 2 words. And let's see if we have the same interpretation of what it's supposed to mean or how it's supposed to be connected. Because I bet you it will not be the same.
So what do you mean? What words?
I don't know. You can just find 2 words if they're the same number. What I'm trying to say is that you and I will have a different interpretation of what it actually means. That doesn't happen with something that is verifiable. We're not going to interpret 2 + 2 as something different. We both are going to agree it's 4. That is what I'm trying to get across. We can't do that with gematria. We have 4.
If we write out cakes, is this what you're saying? If we write out cakes and we write out pies?
Sure. We can take that and if there's any somehow
Mooncakes 33, just like Sweet Lady.
connected, we're going to have 2 interpretations of this.
Right, well, that's not what I've ever been doing, right? What I've been looking at is why do they code these certain numbers in these rituals?
9. You know what time for Los Angeles?
Moon Pie is
Yeah.
110, just like 110 story World Trade Center. 38, just like 38 days after that one decode they just did. 106, like what is it? Slavery is 106. Mooncakes 96, 33, 147, and 48. Donald Trump 48. 33 federal secrecy. Police.
What were the other ones? Los Angeles and those two other ones.
Hey, all right, hold on. You don't find it strange that only 3 times in history the Dodgers have beat the Yankees in the World Series and a U.S. president was shot in the same year?
No, all right, fine, that's straight. Where's the connection there? Where's connecting?
Yeah, where's the connection? Dodgers and Yankees, New York City and LA. I can see the connection if the president's from those areas, but none of them are. That I can think of.
Things.
No, the reason these things are connected is because all of the major American sports are credited to Freemasons, just like this U.S. federal government's credited to Freemasonry, which is based in Kabbalah. Kabbalah is where this whole thing of letters and numbers comes from, and they are forming these rituals, because that's what they are. That when you earn your right, it's not spelled R-I-G-H-T, it's spelled R-I-T-E. In Freemasonry, when you earn your right, you're performing a ritual, and it's numbered. Everything.
And it's consistent. And it's not numbered either. Right? I've asked Scottish Rites and I've asked Shriners. You guys don't have, you Dramatrians, you guys don't ask these people because you just, they're just going to lie. You ask them. How do you know? How do you know? Are you there? Are you part of it? Do you know? Like, what do you know about what they're really doing? You don't know. I've gone into a Scottish Rite temple, 2 of them. And they don't do this shit. They don't do any Kabbalah shit. They don't do no number shit like what you're using. They're doing. And it's just like when you're working out, you do like 12 reps of 4 sets. What is it, 124? 35 pounds? Dumbbells? Whatever it is, right? Is that, you're telling me I'm doing a ritual?
The Masons etch on the temple all this number, the Pythagoras quote. They perform their number.
The world's first titanium Gnostic.
That's not what that means. That's what you think it
Unlike
means.
Are their rituals in numbers. And again, year after we just when Trump took on the protesters of the flag back in 2017, I said that day, I didn't have Patreon back then, I put out for free, locked in old Providence. I said, look at this. Trump flag is 239 years old right now. Trump has the same birthday as the U.S. flag. The flag was sold at 239 Arch Street. Trump's taking on the protesters on the 23rd day of 9th month, when the first person to take a knee was Colin Kaepernick on the 239th day of the year. I said that's the 52nd prime number.
Sex says concept means concept means not the same as the original thing.
And I said, doesn't that make sense? Eagles,
yep.
the flag, versus the Patriots. And we even said it. Look at this. The Super Bowl is going to be 86 days after Zach Ertz's number 86's birthday, and the national anthem was adopted 86 years earlier. If the Eagles are going to win this thing, he probably scores the winning touchdown. That paid 30-1 odds to get him to score the winning touchdown. I mean,
there's so much information being flung out that it's hard to verify everything that he's saying. It's right there. There's like 20 things, and I'm just not going to look any of it up because for one, I'm sick of it. I'm already 2 hours in. 10
and paid 300. And way in advance, it paid even more.
Have you heard of the multiple comparisons problem? Out of curiosity, have you heard of it?
Do you understand that a lot of people made a lot of money off?
Okay, deflection. She just asked you a question. And I'm still gonna take this as time. He started rambling at 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 48 seconds. We're at 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 13 seconds. So he's almost at 2 minutes of rant. And she asked I still haven't been able to put down a time, because I'm not putting down time unless they're speaking for more than 10 seconds. For Mooncakes, since 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 57 seconds. Mooncakes hasn't been able to speak for more than 10 seconds for almost an hour.
This prediction, like a lot of predictions, this game's rigged.
That's fine.
That's why when somebody comes to me in 2025 and says predict something, it's like, do you have any correct predictions? Like,
then show it. Show it. Show the correct prediction. Show the video. show your notes. You write everything down. Have everything screenshot. Show it. It shouldn't take you long. He never shows it. Isn't that funny? How he never shows it?
Doesn't mean that that's not just luck. That like anything can happen. What I'm trying to say is that.
Wait a minute. So Trump's going to run protesters in a big span of days, but he waited until 23/9 to do it.
He didn't wait till 23/9. He waited till 9/23 because this is America. We don't write the date that way. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, we're writing the date like they write it in fucking Sweden." I mean, come on.
When that's specific to where the flag is from, and that was the year of the flag national anthem protest. You don't see that.
To you, unless you change the cipher, unless you change the spelling, unless you change the math, the dates, anything wrong. Therefore, there will be thousands of combinations that you can match. Not only that, the matches are definitely guaranteed. And you will find it, as long as you keep doing it.
By the way, I finally got to write down Mooncakes. So Mooncakes hasn't spoke for more than 10, 15 seconds since 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 57 seconds. And now we're at 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 51 seconds. This is the most she's been able to speak for more than 10 seconds. Literally 40 minutes.
Random things that you can agree with. That is how statistics work. Statistically, you will find the combinations that you're looking for. That is what multiple comparisons problem is. And that is what you're doing. You're not doing anything else, and it sucks to keep reiterating it. You haven't proven.
Yeah, it does suck. I feel I'm very sorry in the case that I do.
Why NASA, for example, why mathematicians doesn't use it?
Okay, hold on. Let's address that NASA doesn't use it. Let's come back to the astrology thing. The moon landing, July 20th, 1969. Is that the date?
For the landing, I think so.
July 20th, 1969. The 201st day of the year.
The day before your birthday.
And to walk on the moon is Neil Armstrong, which equals 2 all. And
all right, so I already know he's going to rant. So we're at 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 43 seconds. Zach might go and CM stream starting in 25 minutes roughly.
Was it in the year 69? Can we confirm that? 69?
I think so.
What's the astrological symbol for Cancer? Do you know?
No, I don't know that.
Why do you just ask? Just fucking say it. God damn, dude, this guy's. Oh, look, he's finally proving so. He's finally showing something.
The time of Cancer. And what rules Cancer? What body or what planetary body rules Cancer?
You have to tell me.
The moon.
Just fucking say it, Zach. So annoying.
So you get a moon landing in 69 in the time of Cancer on the 201st day of the year. And just the name Armstrong alone is 44. Like Cancer is 44.
Green black gematria.
Do you see what I'm saying? You did it right there. You just did what I talked about. You literally changed the cipher and the spelling itself. So
because I want to explain you from the beginning, right? This is the system. These aren't steps. These aren't.
Prove the system. Where does it say that there's New World Order Jesuit gematria system? Where does it say that? Where? You made the system up. This is your system. That is broken. It doesn't have any fucking rules to it.
To be separated. This is how it works.
You're mixing systems. And
Math has the order of operations as its main component of its system. You don't have an order of operations. Your shit is a scatter plot of scatteredness of scattered.
therefore,
Hold on. You see how Scottish Rite equals 50? Hold on. You see how Scottish Rite equals 57? Like equals 57? Not the same cipher.
So he does Scottish Rite, Freemasonry, Masonry, Mason, Freemason, in ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. He literally like 9, 10 fucking combinations. That's 40 different fucking numbers.
They both equal 57? Hold on. True or false? Did they take the Scottish Rite flag to the moon on the mission, supposedly.
I guess that's a very specific thing. Neil Armstrong takes Scottish Rite Free decent flag to. And even if they did, well, that doesn't mean anything. No, Scottish Neil Armstrong did not take a Scottish Rite flag to them. Astronaut Buzz Aldrin, a fellow Freemason, carried the Scottish Rite flag specifically from southern jurisdiction in a special deputation from the Grand Lodge of Texas to the moon on Apollo 11, with that flag now displayed in the Scottish Rite Temple in Washington, D.C. Aldrin, the second man on the moon, also took commune elements and performed a brief religious service, but the Masonic artifacts were carried separately from the main mission. So, guess who gets a ding ding? Hubbard. Never brought it to the moon. That's wrong. That fucking doesn't make any fucking sense. The only fucking... They put the American flag up. What? If you think the fucking video's fake or not, I don't care. In the video, it's an American flag, not a Scottish Rite Freemason flag.
The Scottish Rite flag. Okay. Scottish Rite 57.
Wrong.
Like, again, Freemasonry is based in Kabbalah, where this whole thing of letters and numbers come from. Almost every astronaut has been a
Show me a picture of that, too.
Freemason. And notice, outer space is also 57.
He just did space and now outer space.
So is conspiracy. Hold on. Conspiracy 57. You see how conspiracy is also 51. So is Moon. And some people say it was filmed at Area 51.
Zach, I think gematria is fun. I was putting in the words personally.
No. You guys, what we understand is how come NASA doesn't use this?
NASA's not using it. You're wrong. Zach's research was really bad. He said the Operation Moonshot was CV-19 backfire. Cuts, can you send me that? Do you have a link or something? If you can send that to me.
And just the tip of the iceberg. Pretty much every NASA headline is paying tribute to astrology. Let me make a point about this. NASA was established in 58, okay? Zodiac equals 58.
What does the Zodiac have to do with NASA?
So does
The Zodiac came well before NASA, and there's different forms of the Zodiac.
calendar, so does star, so does stars, the plural.
Plural?
Freemasonry is 58. Secret Society is 58. Rosicrucian is 58.
Dude, humans have been doing astrology since well before Freemasonry. Humans been doing it since they were cavemen. So this is just a bunch of bullshit.
58, which is directly related to the Masons. It goes back to Solomon's Temple, another 58. These number is huge with Freemasonry. Again, NASA was...
Yeah, but you'd have to use the original numbers for in the original names, right? The etymology. It wasn't just called Solomon's Temple. It's whatever the fucking Arabic or Hebrew or Greek or probably even Latin. What were the numbers then? What would that have been? The numbers are changing throughout time, guys. Cancer. Yeah. Just send me the link to my phone if you can, or screenshot.
Created by a bunch of Freemasons and no one else, a bunch of Nazis. And Nazi is also 58.
Yeah, the Nazis. Did you guys know that the second most people that got nabbed up during the Nazis were Freemasons?
And hold on. The most important Nazi, the most important.
So right now, Zach's past 3 minutes. So he started at 1 hour, 54 minutes, 43 seconds. We're at 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 2 seconds. And Mooncakes has barely been able to talk for more than a second. So that's another ding. Can't get your point across in less than 3 minutes, you know.
See, the moon mission is Warner Von Braun, who's taking 207, like
Gee.
40th day of 7th month.
Zach, you're using 4 different systems. Of course you're gonna find a connection. You're using 4 different systems. Here.
Not to mention, wait till you go on to his sports Mooncakes. He's using like 9 different systems on it. Satanic gematria. He's using Sumerian. He's using English Extended, which is probably the closest thing that you can get to, but gematria. He's using Latin. He's using like 2 other ones too.
Reverse is supposed to be able
Let's talk about it again. Science, most simple cipher, 58. Year NASA was established, 58.
was 58.
Star, 58. Zodiac is 58. Jupiter is 58. Okay? Like I just said, everything that NASA does.
Well, text it to me. I can't look at that.
This is at the beginning of my first book. And how this system was invented.
I can't click on it on here.
This system was more calendar and the English standard. Remember, no, at the end of the 16th century, the calendar was implemented, and English was standardized, the alphabet we use today, and all of history has.
No, it wasn't just standardized. They didn't sit in the room like, okay, all right, we're going to take out these other letters, and then we're going to manipulate. I can't remember Old English. From Old English, it's a mix of Germanic, mix of Nordic, mix of Celtic, mix of Scottish, mix of Welsh, and Latin. It's a mix of all those. That's what English is. It's not a stand. Eventually, they Bacon, whatever fucking Bacon and Shakespeare and all kinds of people throughout time have implemented our way of learning our language into something education. Oh, thank you. Appreciate Operation Moonshot.
Told it this way. All that we're told about history, and a lot of it is bullshit, has unfolded this way.
But you're using the history that is being taught to you to do your decoding bullshit. So if it's all bullshit and all lies, that means your whole system that you're using, Zach, is a complete lie. You just contradicted yourself. Another deduction. That's a contradiction.
Yay, this is why the stories are encoded this way.
Exactly 100. When Zachary is asked to make a prediction, he reflects rambles past, he won't make another one because he's a fraud. Right.
To use this system, I just gave you a principle. I think it's great management and how it was perfectly this system.
Keep an ass in the calculator. Keep an ass equals.
Hold on, I just want to make another point. Nazis don't rule is 24. If you guys don't know, the moon landing was on the
now the plural
of the Nazi scientists being brought to the U.S. July 20th, 1945. For everybody that doesn't know that.
You might not NASA there. Okay, what is this?
They didn't just bring the Nazis scientists over here in one day. It was throughout years and years. I mean, they were like getting hunted down like the Jedi after Order 66 and Revenge of the Sith. So like we were hunting them down and saying, hey, work for us or we're gonna go into a cage.
What does NASA equal? Well, 73 and 28 is just like Mason, and again, every astronaut.
Just like Mason, NASA, Mason, 4 letters. I mean, what are the odds? In Mason, Mason, Mason. Okay, so it's 5. NASA. So there's one out of the 2 words. There's 3 A's. So we're going to do 1, 2, so 5, 9 total letters. 3 of those letters are the same fucking letter. Okay, there's an N in both, so now you have 2, so plus 2 more letters. Mason also has an S. 2 S's, so another 2. Mason and NASA, and then M is the only one. So you say Mason and NASA, they equal in one cipher. So the chances of that 3 + 2 + 2 is 7. So 7 out of the 9 letters equal the same fucking thing. So it's very fucking probable you're going to have an overlap with Mason and NASA.
Travel to space has been a Mason. A lot of people say that the symbol for NASA is the serpent.
Yeah, I know YouTube frauds. Yeah.
Every astronaut has been. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, travel to DC, or not travel to DC, just watch the tour of the House of the Temple, the Masonic headquarters in DC.
And every astronaut.
They have a shrine to NASA there, and they explain that every astronaut to have.
So Mooncakes hasn't had more than 5 seconds to speak. We're at 2 hours now. So Zach's been going on for 6 minutes. And the max time, so once he hits 8 minutes, it's another ding. And then I won't ding him anymore. But max time is 8 minutes if you can't make your point. But that's usually for very specific things, something that she asked was very specific. So 3 minutes.
Travel has been a Mason. Yeah.
Every astronaut's been a Mason. Oh my god.
Actually, you know what? Hold on. That interview is a little bit dated, and I wouldn't even have to question this point because there has been more women. So there might be an asterisk. I bet all those women have been in the Order of the Eastern Star, which is Freemasonry for women. Women can't technically be Masons. But yeah, the entire NASA space.
Then why don't you put that Order of the Eastern Star? Why is that not in the calculator in NASA? They equal the same thing.
Program is highly Masonic, and anyone can verify it by doing some actual.
I go to NASA's website right now. Will they talk about gematria? Can I find gematria information on NASA's website?
I don't know. Why are you looking to?
I can look into it right now. See, gematria is.
So almost all the things that the points that go against Hubbard that Mooncakes has brought up, she's made her points, most of them, and brought some details. That is outside. So with a control, you need something outside of your source of information. So if you're going to prove your experiment, you can't just use your experiment to prove your experiment. That's not how that works. And just because they're Freemasons doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. Go interview some Masons, people. You can't just state that because they're Freemasons, they are undercover CIA operative, sociopathic liars. I mean, that's not enough. That's not evidence of anything. You can have an opinion. Our opinions probably will match. So right here, I will put Cakes at 2 hours and 9 minutes.
If they use gematria, let's see. Just those calculators. It doesn't show. Somehow NASA matches the Virgin Mary according to gematria. I don't know how that works. No, NASA does not use gematria, and I wonder why.
AI answer.
AI answer? No, I was just scrolling on like Google. Like I was just scrolling.
That would be a very thorough research, did it?
What's that?
Fine. I'll do it. NASA.gov. I already know someone in chat's going to hate me for it. Gematria. 11 results found for gematria. L.J. Ernenberger and Betty J. Love. I don't know. This isn't showing anything. I'll click on this. 404. It didn't make the playoffs. Zachary had Mets in the World Series. Oh, yeah. Space Act Agreement. See if there's gematria. I just typed in gematria into the search engine on NASDAQ. And then they got the Space Act Agreement here. There's no gematria. I don't know why. There is 33 pages. Square root of 2. Irrational guess of. I don't understand why. Let's see what this Betty love is. That one doesn't exist either. There's no. I don't know why it gave me 11 results. There's no gematria in any of these links. There's only 3 links that work. So no, NASA's website doesn't have gematria.
It showed gematria. NASA does not use gematria. Even casinos don't use gematria. I went to Caesar's Palace and they asked me.
Hold on. Do you know that Werner von Braun was the most instrumental scientist in the mission? You can look this up. I mean, that should come up. That Werner von Braun's the guy. He's the guy who invented the character of the Elon, right? That's why Elon Musk's whole character is based on Werner von Braun. That's why he did the Nazi salute on January 20th. But you can laugh all you want. I covered it that day. They announced 2 weeks later that Werner von Braun's wife died on that exact same day. Hold on. You think that Werner von Braun, again, Mr. Space Travel, wrote a book about the Elon, it's a mission to Mars, and the same day Werner von Braun's a Nazi. The same day that Elon Musk does his salute, Werner von Braun's wife dies. Do you think that's a coincidence?
Dude, to say that freaking weird ass, he did like what to the heart, and then like his hands open. Dude, it was nowhere near a Nazi salute. Come on. And the Nazi salute also does what they do, like Z Heil. He didn't do that either. So.
Can I ask one more question, Zach?
Yeah, it doesn't exist. You're right. YouTube frauds.
All of this is crazy coincidence.
Zach, it's okay. You have stated this so many times. It is difficult to find connections and things that are not meant to be connected, and that's what's happening here. I think you have confirmation bias. I think you are looking for patterns, which is what our brain is too. That's what I asked you before is this. Okay, are there any fixed rules in gematria? Is there even one fixed rule in gematria? Like how there is in math, for example. Are there any fixed rules in gematria?
Your corns stink, your face is puffy, you have formal sugar.
I hate that I have to watch these ads because it gets in mind.
Well, again, all the ciphers are based on the alphabetic order, so you can't just make them.
That's not a fixed rule. The OR operations.
Words equal whatever you want. You have to use the order that's assigned. And as you've seen, everything I've revealed to you.
Yeah, but you're connecting it to like a date, a birthday. Sometimes it's not even connected to that. Sometimes it's something different, or a past event. What cipher is meant for that? And I mean, not to mention, why is punctuation not involved? Why is it only up to like once in a while? It's like 6 words in one phrase. Why is it usually less than 6 words? Why are the phrases? Why is it not a fucking paragraph? Particularly used in Jewish tradition and other spiritual and conspiratorial contexts, not as a scientific or official practice by the U.S. government. Zach rules is to use 4 ciphers and scam and fraud. 4 is a number for foundation. because 4 is a square.
These numbers are in perfect alignment with these major rituals in history.
I'm not doing that because I asked you, said to me at the beginning of this debate.
Dude, that's
you
not a
said, "You're
circle,
just
'cause
using
it's-
simple gematria." Because I asked you, I said, how do you the code to use? You said, you don't use just one. You're using 4. So there are no fixed rules. You're able to change the spell.
And remember, I just showed you how it works, like with the example of Mickey Lee, whose name equals 88. Guys, 88 days after the show she's on ends. Whose name also overlaps with Jesus Christ. Whose name also overlaps with Christianity and Christian. And
Yeah, but not in the same ciphers. Not in the same ciphers. You have to change the cipher to get the number.
That seemed to just be all coincidental to
You gotta use divination to make it work. He's using divination. That's not gematria.
you. Do you understand that Christmas is celebrated as Jesus Christ's birthday and is the pinnacle holiday for Christians?
Are changing the variables. Therefore, you are getting statistically, you are going to get the matches that you are looking for. That is going to happen. I know that's guaranteed. I'm not going to argue with you about that. You will get these matches. So yes, you are.
Hold on. She guys, hold on. You just gave me a list of words earlier, and you had to put in like 12 words before there was finally an overlap.
No, we put in 7.
Okay.
And there was overlap with 3 of them.
Right there, calling a lie. Yeah, I give you a ding on that one, Zach. You lied.
3 or 4.
Blatantly lied. And that's what he does. He'll exaggerate.
Let me see if I can put the list up here.
5 and 2.
Okay.
We went up.
Yeah, I had a thing to help you out. So here's where we were, right? And we just have the simple cipher.
You don't have any of them up.
We can add more.
Okay, but the point was you threw in a lot of words here, and again, there wasn't really any rhyme or reason to it, yet these news stories are perfect rituals every day where within just seconds of research, it's not like you have to look all day to figure it out, it's just smacking you right in the face like, God, this person's name equals 88, and then 88 days after the show ended.
Their name doesn't equal 88 because there's no such thing as a system that's designed like that. You weren't born saying, well, here's your name, and this is your name in gematria, P equals whatever. And again, there's not a definition for English gematria. It doesn't exist. It's not even in the dictionary. There is a definition for regular gematria, and it's pertaining to Hebrew and Jewish traditional mysticism systems.
I was trying to show you that over time, when we keep inputting words, we're going to get the same numbers eventually. I tried doing the math in my head. If you put human in there, even add human, you got the human might be 67, sorry, 67%. I don't know what numbers, other numbers you want, but eventually we are going to get the same exact numbers. We put in, put in human maker, or is he already on that list? One of them was 67. Which one was 67? One was 7. Okay, I think put in world. I think world is going to be 67.
World?
That's right, YouTube frauds.
Yeah, world. I think that should be 67. You know, sorry, doing the math in my head, so let's see. Yeah.
By the way, you were asking about the 35 in NASA. That's one of the Satan numbers. A lot of people think that's serpent's tongue, and NASA's logo is in tribute to Satan. If you study masonry, a lot of people think that it does worship Satan.
Well, it's always simple. You're using simple numbers.
This is not a simple cipher.
This was
World is 72.
World 72. Oh, so I don't know where I got my math wrong about that. But fair. So my points, yeah, basically what I'm trying to show you is this. Over time,
How about a word like this? How many states are there in this country?
aren't there like 51 in America?
There's 50.
There's 51, I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah. What was that?
Do you want to see what they did with?
Yeah, but it's been called America for how long? And there wasn't even a state yet when it was called America. But it wasn't, you didn't even get the 50th state until the 50s. So 51 was Hawaii, 1951.
They replaced one Jesuit.
52, I don't remember.
I just want you to address what it is you're saying.
I'll go over there when he actually does go live.
Into this thing, right? We're going to get numbers that match up. If those numbers are completely different, so let's give you an example. Let's just say we match grass with knife. I'm just giving it a guess, okay? But will you find a connection within those completely two different things? That is what I'm trying to kind of hold on to. Is that I think you're going to find a connection to things that don't have a connection because the numbers match. That is my concern. And I think that's what's happening. That is all I'm trying to say.
Here's what I want to show you. Once upon a time, I was looking into if any of this meant anything. And here, I forgot a keyword up here. And I also learned something. I learned that Joshua was the English translation of Jesus. If you didn't know
I almost
that.
don't want to give that fucker any fucking clout. I don't want to give him any clout.
First looking into if this is something, because right, I'm somebody
You can
who
come
actually
over here.
researching questions things. I was looking for why there's so
He
many
sees them
contradictions.
live. He's probably in here.
Which there are, once you pay attention. I found this, and shortly after finding it, I noticed this. And I understand this calculation.
See him if you are in here. Come on in.
Because the person who found my work was a Green Bay Packers fan who built this website, and he saw my work showing that Aaron Rodgers suffered a fake injury from the National Fixed League, and he thought it was a total load of bullshit, and I must be wrong. But then he actually started looking into things, realized this is a higher IQ guy, he's a computer programmer. He realized I was correct, and he got so inspired by this work, he built this website. I used to do everything by hand. I used to do everything on a whiteboard. But I realized this, while writing this in a notebook, I said, look at this, all these things equal 74. Cross, gospel, Messiah, Jesus, parables. I didn't have Joshua, but then I learned, wow, Joshua 74 is the English translation of Jesus. I said, that's interesting because this nation's
The English translation of Jesus is. All right, we're going to check that. Oh, okay. Joshua is essentially the English equivalent to Jesus' Hebrew name, Yeshua. Okay. I guess I was, I didn't know. I did not think that would have been possible, but technically Jesus is English, and the Latin is Jesus. Greek is Jesusus, and Hebrew is Yeshua. There's two different ways to spell it. Zachary has very, very, very bad karma after peddling his fake scammer psychology for long. Bad, horrible things are coming.
Is 7-4.
I pray that that is true.
It's an English-speaking nation. You think of a place like London, but gematria is practiced. So I started looking at all these things are 74, right? I soon after I realized the word killing is 74. I said, oh, that's interesting. I've always thought it was funny that 3 of the first 5 presidents died on 7-4. But anyway, I started saying, okay, this means if this is not an accident, do you think that's probably a coincidence, or do you think that's probably on purpose? Just first of all.
Sorry, say that one more time. I'm sorry, Zach.
And this list of all these 74, just let's go cross, gospel, Messiah, Jesus. Jesus speaks in parables of the story of Jesus is the gospel, right?
This is probably the best argument Zach has, but I debunked this. And that's because this is the way our phonetic language is written now.
Hold on, do you know that Jesus speaks in parables of the story of Jesus and the gospel?
No, I don't know too much about Jesus, but I just want to say.
Okay, so that, so you realize that you need that context, right? So the story of Jesus is the gospel, the first 4 books of the New Testament, and Jesus must speak in parables.
Just to be clear, I have no problem with their the numbers being symbolic, which is what they're supposed to do.
Hold on.
Listen.
No, hold on. This isn't the next logical connection that, okay, if this is
And this is another thing he does is she answers his question. And then he doesn't like the answer. And then he's going to go on a tirade.
who would do this? Wouldn't that be the next logical question?
No, Zach, because this is so frustrating. I understand what it is you're trying to say. I see where you're making.
I'm not trying to say it, I'm saying it.
And I'm not trying to inherently dismiss it. But like I said,
Okay, here, let's just do this. Let's go back to your game of putting it, because we understand that.
So I'm cutting it out right here. You guys can determine who won. Be honest, I guess no one really won because no one got swayed. But debate is usually for the viewer. I will say this: Zach deflected nearly every question she asked. He couldn't. He's multiple times. He couldn't make a point in under 3 minutes. He made up shit. There's a lot of exaggerations. I fact checked it quite a few times. They did not pan out. And then when brought serious questions, he diverted, tiptoed around them. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 42, 42. Isn't that funny? 42. I dinged Zach 42 times in so far 2 hours. And at this point, there's no way that she's going to be able to get up to this number. She's been dinged 4 times. In the rules of debate, I went over the rules. Zach he got dinged on the rules 42 times. Really, it could have been a lot more. And Mooncakes. Not only to mention that Mooncakes probably total time speaking it was under 20 minutes. It's been 2 hours. And Zach speaking obviously for an hour and 40 minutes plus. So in 2 hours and 10 minutes and 15 seconds, Mooncakes has probably spoke for 15 to 20 minutes total. I've been writing down the times where Zach's speaking for more than 10 to 15 seconds. And he's tripled the amount of time she's spoken for 10 to 15 seconds. Zach violated pretty much all the rules of a debate. So, other than that, you come to your own conclusions. You can think Zach didn't make any points. He just tried to sell his bullshit, like he probably does. The best argument he has is a 74 thing. And that's because it's relatable to the Bible and biblical texts. And that's what gematria is used for. So I would speculate that this is the closest thing he could get. Otherwise, he's just doing English-based cryptography, divination, cryptancy, and creating a system of encryption. That's what that is. It's not gematria. So the 74 Jesus thing is not the closest thing he has. Other than that, I'm just kind of sick to it. I might go to CMs. We'll see. Other than that, have a good night.